Yeah, let's go. All right, we're back in business, baby. Let's go. Full sails forward, baby. Okay, so let me just get this knocked out. Hello, Rocky. Hi, Rubes. Hi, Crystal. Hi, Clownish. Okay, so for today's special, we are actually going to be doing a... Why do you do that? Why do you do that to me? Why does left click stop my music? Stop that. I don't like that. Stop that. Bad. Okay, anyways, yeah, so for today's game, we actually have a follower request. It is going to be Mushroom Oasis, a completely free to play downloadable, or both free to play and free to download game. Apparently, it's actually open source, so if you feel so compelled, you can actually customize the game however you like. All right, let's cut the music and then we'll hop right in, okay? Kill the music. And this game was actually free to download, so I just straight up downloaded it. I don't use itch.io for anything, so I felt like this would be appropriate. Mushroom CW is mostly Yandere stuff. What? Cartoon wet work? I'm just kidding. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, welcome to... Oh my god, my audio settings are so messed up this entire day. Everything is wrong with my audio. I even had my mic on low volume. Oh god, the art is adorable. Get back to the bus, Ford. You're never leaving the bus. I should redeem this now. Okay, just make sure that you, again, post it in, I shouldn't be chewing gum. Post it in, the poll chat or whatever, so that way we have a heads up on that, okay? So just for my personal frame of reference on this game, Mushroom Oasis, again, follower request. I have no frame of reference what genre it is. For all I know, this is a horror game. I don't think it is. It had a warning that says, you know, very mild depictions, but it has little hearts on the mushroom, so that looks like a good start. This one looks like a pear. This one's a jelly bean. So let's see what this game has. 3, 2, 1, start. What's your name? Forcoon. What's your cat's name? Samantha. And your cat is? Female. I'm so happy I actually have a cat. Samantha has been missing already! No! Sam, Sam! She is missing. She's been missing for a while now. She was an indoor cat, but she had the tenacity of a wildcat on a mission, trying to leave whenever the door was open. Kinda true. Catios and playtime just wasn't enough for the little missus. Catios? I guess cat patios? I figured she'd come running if I left out some food by the porch. 3 days later, still no cat. I've tried everything I can think of. Asking around the neighborhood, putting up missing cat posters. Sadly, nothing came from my efforts. I couldn't search for her during the day since I had to keep working, since I had work keeping me occupied. And there's only so many hours in the evening I could yell around the streets looking for her. There's only one place left I could think of that she might have ran off to. The woods by my house, right across the street. I've definitely caught her eyeing the birds and squirrels that ran alongside the perimeters from the front window, her teeth clicking in excitement. I was no outdoorsy person by any means. In fact, the thought of going in there scares me. But I had to find her. Or at least try. The first weekend that I came around when I packed up some water. Oh, okay. Small nitpick. This font is very hard to read. The skinny letters being so close to each other makes it really hard for my eyes to figure out where I'm supposed to start and end. If it was a bigger, like, in a bigger font, I think it wouldn't be so bad. But then, it's text heavy, so. The first weekend that I came around, I packed up some water, Samantha's favorite treats, and a compass to be safe. I wasn't sure where to even begin looking for her, so I started walking in a straight line, calling her name every few steps. Dot, dot, dot. It certainly didn't take me long to realize I was in way over my head. Why did I think this was a good idea? It was hard to find my bearings within the surrounding trees. I admit I was lost. Or I didn't want to admit I was lost. At least not yet. I could only squint down at my compass as the needle spun slowly. Pretty sure they weren't made to do that. Did I really bring a busted compass on my first venture out in these woods? Figured that would just be my luck. The only thing risking my own safety was my own incompetence. I shook my head hastily. No. No time for negativity. Samantha was out there somewhere, cold, and lost, and hungry. I had to keep going. It's been hours. I'm so lost. I don't even know why I kept searching even after the moment I'd realized that. Why did I think this was a good idea? Hunger had been gnawing at my stomach for a while now, having missed breakfast and lunch altogether. The heat and humidity from the afternoon sun was unbearable, but the cooling air did nothing to soothe me. Even if I were to head home, I couldn't even pinpoint where that was. What do people even do in this situation? I knew it was baseless optimism, but walking onwards was really the only thing I could think of to do. Surely I'll come across something familiar. I trudged on, my shoes carefully avoiding the tree roots intertwined across the forest floor. But in my weakened state, plus the approaching darkness, I found myself stumbling through rough terrain. My feet hit something soft jutting out the ground. Ah! My hands shot out as I lost my balance. My feet clumsily tried to find purchase as I wobbled backwards, arms flapping. What? My shoes landed smack dab in a circle of mushrooms, the brunt of it causing a wispy cloud to erupt from the cluster. I stuck my nose in my elbow to avoid breathing it in. I couldn't differentiate one tree leaf from another for the life of me, but I'm pretty sure humans aren't supposed to inhale whatever the hell this was. It smelled strongly of rotten wood and wet dirt, even as it cleared. Something shiny quickly caught my attention. I stooped down to pick it up, gasping under my breath. It was Samantha's collar. Covered in whatever the hell those mushrooms released. I looked around desperately for any signs of her. Samantha! Samantha! I coughed from inhaling some of the remaining dust floating in the air. I really should steer clear from this. Pocketing Samantha's collar, I retreated carefully until I could breathe again. Stepping back, I could still smell it. It must have stuck to my hair and clothes. A quick once-over confirmed my suspicions with a slight cringe. A thin, yet generous coating of it covered my sleeves and jeans. I leaned against the tree, dusting off my clothes in a naive attempt to get the dust and smell out, to no avail. If anything, it felt like I was breathing more of it in. What used to be musty now turned sweet, and I found myself inhaling even deeper, trying to pinpoint the smell. Cucumbers? It smelled like fresh cucumbers. A tingly feeling crept up my hands and neck, pinpricks spreading across my limbs as a strange heat reached my face. I started to feel drunk and woozy. My senses were numb. It should freak me out. And yet, a strange comfort washed over me. I should lie down. Right now, in fact. My legs gave out from under me, my body toppling over at an awkward angle. Okay, is it just me? Or are all the letters related to me a different color? My, me, my, like these are different colors, right? I'm not crazy. I mean, I'm colorblind, but I'm not that blind. I think they are. Okay, cool. I laid there and stared. I laid there and stared and stared and stared. It was nice here. A peaceful calm. Perfect place for a nap, even. My eyes grew heavy as I swam in and out of consciousness. Yeah, a nap sounds really good right about now. Mo? Lots? I don't know who's making this voice, so let's do old man voice. Eh? Lots of critters passing by through lately. Sorry this happened to you, little one. Could have been anyone, but it had to be you. Wait, a human? How'd you end up all the way out here? Still breathing, too. Haha, jeez, I can't leave you here. What should I do? I woke with a jolt. It was warm, but comfortably so. I could feel the weight of a blanket on me as I tried to sit up. I couldn't. I couldn't move my body. My fingers twitched uselessly at my sides as my eyes darted around in panic. Glancing about, I could see the interior of a cabin, or at least the ceiling of one. I couldn't see much past the corner of my eyes. Where was I? How'd I get here? A desperate feeling rose in my chest. I had to leave. Right now. This was wrong. Wrong! Wrong! I wasn't meant to be here. I could hear the crackling of a fire nearby, likely the source of warmth I felt on waking up. I could also hear footsteps approaching. Pretend to be asleep. I shut my eyes quickly, hoping they hadn't noticed. Oh, first decision! Oh crap, I gotta go soon. Oh, I'm sorry, Clownish! I slowed down my breathing, willing my face muscles to stay still. From beside me, someone chuckled softly. I already know you're awake, Firefly. Come on now. I'm not going to hurt ya. I fluttered my eyelids, straining to look at the person approaching. My eyes widened as I took in their appearance, the protrusions from their forehead catching my attention. Not to mention the green skin. And he's not old? What do you mean? The stranger didn't sense my unease as they heaved a sigh of relief. You're awake? That's good. Very, very good. How you feeling? I blinked. Repeatedly. You? Sorry, I forgot about that. Here. The person held a cup to my lips, a strong, sweet smell coming from the rim. I swear, this'll get you toasted. A gentle hand grabbed my chin to open my mouth. I couldn't even move to resist. He's not hold for. Don't worry. Okay. I'll give him Rousey's voice then. Okay, does that sound good?
Don't worry. It'll help you feel better. I promise. Drink up.
As the liquid hit my tongue, all I could feel was a vague sense of heat. As I kept drinking, the taste and texture returned, the sweetness of berries and chamomile coating my taste buds. I could even detect a hint of mint. I lifted my head finally, hands fisting at my sides as I propped myself onto my elbows. The person kept a steady hand on my chin, careful not to pour in too much, in case I choked. I finished every last drop, wiping my mouth with the back of my hand. I stared at my fingers, realizing I had full autonomy over my body again.
Good as new. Now, how are you feeling?
Okay, I'll stop.
Good as new. Now, how are you feeling?
Better. Thank you. The stranger laughed.
Oh, I like the way you sound. It's been ages.
Actually, wait 1 second real quick. This audio is super quiet. Is audio good for you? Just double checking. How does the audio work for you guys?
It's been ages since I talked to anyone. Much less with a voice as nice as yours.
I brushed off their strange compliment, finally looking around the cabin properly. It was a simple room, filled with sparse but decorated wooden furniture, fit for someone living alone. An open archway to the right led to what I assumed was the kitchen. Next to it, a door, closed shut. Possibly the bathroom. Taking it in, there was a common theme of knitted decorations strewn about. Any available surface had patterned knitted tablecloths covering it. An unfinished project laid beside the bedside I sat at, a pair of knitting needles jutting out of a pile of yarn from a small basket. As far as I could tell, it looked like the beginnings of a green scarf. The stranger was comfortable and staying silent, observing me as I glanced around. They tossed their head onto the bed, scruffling their hair and making it even messier. With their hat off, their unique features were kinda impossible to ignore. Sorry, but what are you?
Oh, I didn't introduce myself, did I? Hiya, I'm Michael, with a Y.
I shook my head. No, I meant that, Michael stared at me, their left ear twitching. You look very... He snorted.
Ugly? Off-putting?
No! Just different.
Different, huh? You're just being nice.
Well then, explain yourself!
I mean, that's kind of rude, isn't it?
I paused for a moment before pinching my nose bridge, inhaling slowly. Fun fact, this is the designer who Sakara is based off. Oh, that makes perfect sense. I'm just... sorry. It's been a long day is all. I should be thanking you.
If it helps, it's, A skin condition? Is that what you...
Oh, he has a bit of a country accent. Oh, time for country Rousey.
Is that what you humans call them?
The way they said it didn't seem confident. And the ears.
Genetics?
Right. And I assume the little... I waved vaguely at their horns, antennae. Those things are just cosplay to complete the look, right?
Would that make a convincing argument?
I squinted. Maybe.
Then yeah, it's a cosplay.
Still doesn't explain everything. Michael huffed a nervous laugh.
Listen, I'm just a guy living by himself in the woods.
What is the sound?
You don't need to worry yourself further than that, okay?
Something in his tone compelled you to not question his existence anymore.
Yeah, is that radio sounds?
Yo, something's going on. Something's going on. He's just some guy living in the woods, completely normal. Right. Completely normal. I'm Forkun. Michael beamed.
Nice to meet you, Forkun.
I fiddled with the blankets as Michael scooted over from the edge of the bed.
I know I already asked, but how are you feeling? Any aches? Sores? Nausea? Intrusive thoughts? Weird impulses? Fever, maybe?
I don't think He placed my hand on my forehead before I could react. His hands were calloused, quickly retracting as he gave a thoughtful hum.
You seem to be lucid. That's a good sign.
Great. He hummed absently, his twitching ear reminding me of a perturbed cat. Cat. My cat! Oh, shit! I'm so sorry if this is out of nowhere, but have you seen a cat around these parts? Her name's Samantha. She's a sweet little thing, about this big. Skittish, but can approach strangers if she needs to. I pulled out my phone to show her, only to find it missing from my back pocket. Wait. Where is...
I haven't.
Huh?
Your cat. I haven't seen it.
Oh, I see. I slumped against the pillows, rubbing at my temples. She lost her collar, too. Even if anyone finds her, they won't be able to tell where she's from. Damn it. Michael stayed quiet, watching me from his side of the bed.
You came all the way out here for a cat?
Huh? Yeah, of course.
To the point you're willing to run yourself ragged, and this deep in the forest? For a cat? Do you realize how far you've wandered away from the nearest town? I found you near unconscious. In an area, but nobody's set foot in for years. For a cat!
He sounded like he was holding himself back from giving a stern lecture, as if in disbelief I had such little regard for my own survival. My cheeks grew heated at how stupid reckless that sounds. I mean, she's not just a cat. She's my family. I know it was stupid for even trying, but I had to. Michael eased up, shoulders tense as he looked over me. But, pardon me 1 sec. Let me get some water. Michael eased up, shoulders tense as he looked me over from underneath his unruly bangs. It sounds like something you would do for? Alright, you take care, Clownish.
Family, huh?
He finally tipped his head at me with a smile.
You're willing to wander this far for such a small critter? I've met my fair share of lost campers, hunters, a few runaway teens or two. But for someone looking for their pet? You're kind of weird, aren't you?
I sputtered, much to his amusement.
Speak for yourself! Who cosplays in the middle of the woods?
Michael laughed, a deep, hearty one resonating from his chest.
Fair. I think I'm starting to like you, Forcoon.
Likewise? Please don't queerbait. His eyes widened, but something about it was off. He was showing too much teeth. It felt like he hadn't talked to someone in a real long time and forgot how to smile the right amount. I rubbed my neck, trying to think of something else to say. Can I ask, how did I get here?
Oh, like I said, I found you in the woods not far from here.
Oh, jeez.
Really?
I knew I was tired, but I couldn't possibly... I did step in something. Something important. Familiar pinpricks crept up my skin. Home. I need to go home. Michael stiffened as he grabbed my shoulder.
Never mind that.
You'd fallen unconscious from a
heat stroke.
I hear the static. I hear the static. No, things are not as they seem. Things are not as they seem. Heat stroke? No, that's not what happened. I wasn't. I was fine up until... Michael shook his head insistently, leaning close.
No, Firefly. You weren't fine at all. If I hadn't found you when I did, well, who knows what could have happened. You could have gotten injured or attacked by a wild animal. There's danger in these woods, you know?
No. He was right. You had been so foolish. How did you think you could do this on your own? Searching for your cat in the middle of the woods? And to go in without bringing any water? Passing out from a heat stroke of all things? How could have you been so stupid? I shook my head, brain too foggy to pick apart my thoughts. He sounded confident, so why should you doubt him? Well, if this means anything, I'm glad you were there. Michael relaxed, his hand on his lap once more. He grinned at me.
So am I, Forcoon.
I'm definitely I found you. His eyes were hidden fully behind his unruly hair, but I couldn't help feeling how intensely they were fixated onto me as he said that. The hairs on the back of my neck stood. Sure. Without a distraction, I've only just realized how uncomfortable I was sitting still. The blanket on me was starting to itch, just as the desperate need to get home began to rise in me again. This was interesting? but I really need to get going now.
Wait!
My host jumped up from the bed before I could.
I mean, you can't. I can't just let you wander around the woods this late. But please, stay a bit longer.
But Michael,
Come!
He grabbed my hand and led me across the room. We stepped into the kitchen, a fragrant smell of cooked potatoes and meat hanging in the air. 2 plates had been set out on a circular table, complete with utensils and mugs of tea.
I wasn't expecting guests today, so food's nothing fancy. But join me for dinner?
He looks so hopeful, ears drooping. You'd feel so bad if you had to say no. Why, of course. Michael's jaw dropped for a second before he quickly recovered.
Yes, of course. Here, come sit. I'll serve up the cottage pie here in a minute.
I sat down as instructed, my stomach rumbling something fierce, as the smell was the only thing I could focus on. Yes, this was definitely the right choice. What was so important that you had to leave so soon? The outside world can wait. You could stay here and enjoy my company.
Oh! Actually, I should ask, are you okay with meat for dinner? I can make something else for you if that's not your preference. I'm okay with meat. Oh, okay, you'll be having the same dinner as me then.
Michael pattered about the small kitchen with an almost giddy excitement. He put on a pair of knitted oven mitts, humming as he stooped down and pulled out a steaming tray of pie from the wood stove. The smell. It filled the kitchen in an instant as he brought it to the table, my stomach rumbling louder in response. I'm pretty sure Michael could hear it, but he just smiled as he served up our portions. Rubes, I see what you said. We need to confirm. We need to. He discreetly cut me a bigger piece, which I was grateful for. It looked so good. The crust was a nice golden color, streaked with crisp lines and garnish. The meat and veggie filling looked absolutely delectable, the savory sauce leaking onto the plate. My mouth was watering. Unsurprising, considering the fact I haven't eaten all day.
Careful now, it's still hot.
It was fair advice, but I didn't wait more than 2 blows before biting to my first forkful. It was definitely way too hot to eat straight from the oven. Michael kept a polite expression, the corner of his mouth lifting, as I panted with the piece still in my mouth. He gave me a few seconds to recover, elbow planted on the table.
Is it good?
I nodded vigorously, even though my buds were burning. I couldn't taste anything. He laughed.
It's usually better on the second bite.
I slowed down, handled my mouth, as Michael pushed his fork into his own slice. I tentatively blew onto the pie to make sure it was cool before taking another bite. He was right. The second bite was a lot better. The seasoned potato crust was nice and crisp on top, cheesy and creamy in the middle. The savory meat filling was well cooked and bursting with flavor. Every bite felt like home. My host watched me enjoy the meal from across the table.
Do you like it?
Yeah, this taste is amazing, Michael. He flushed from his compliment, rubbing the back of his neck.
I'm glad. I like to think of myself as a decent cook, but I've never been able to get anyone else's opinion on that.
Do you like baking in particular?
Ugh, not always. I usually go for simple dishes with any ingredients available.
I nodded amicably, though I didn't say much else. I was more focused on scarfing down dinner, which, thankfully, Michael didn't seem to mind. Overall atmosphere was nice and homely, and I could hear Michael tapping his feet from underneath the table. I guess he was that happy to have someone stay for dinner. It did seem like he lived alone, judging by the surroundings in his cabin. So, I'm kind of curious. He perked up instantly, his focus solely on me. What made you want to live all the way out here?
Oh, well, when you look like me, it's just kind of easier to live out of sight from everyone else.
A pang of guilt shot through my chest. I was giving him a hard time about how he looked, too. I must have sensed it as clear as day on my face.
Not that you're one of them.
You've actually been nicer than most.
No,
I wonder if... His smile turned strained.
Never mind. My point is, it's better here than anywhere else.
Why don't you try the tea, Firefly? He seemed uncomfortable now, easing into a different topic. Probably best to follow along. Oh, sure. I reached out towards my mug, only to push it off the edge with my clumsy fingers. Oh no! Wait! I bent over the side to grab it, fully expecting it to fall just out of reach and land on the floor into broken pieces. It never did. Instead, a long green appendage was twisted around the ceramic mug, securely keeping it in place. Not even a drop had fallen out. What is with this menacing music? I don't get the menacing music. Right now, he has a tail. Cool. I don't see what's so scary about him having a tail. He has other appendages. My eyes trailed along the length of it until I pinpointed that it came from behind Michael, the rest of it partially hidden behind his cardigan. Michael? Is that yours? I mean, come on, we've already established this. Stop acting weird, main character. Whoa. Michael buried his face in his hands, the strange appendage from before lowering to his side, mug in tow. I'm sorry, Forcoon. I think it's time I was honest. He lifted his head, his fingers carding his hair back to reveal his eyes. I froze as multiple pairs of irises stared right into mine before darting to the side and avoiding my gaze. I know it's a lot to take in, but this is who I really am. But please don't be scared. Remain calm. I swallowed audibly, willing myself to not look away. Okay. Just my 2 cents. I think this is unreasonable by the MC. I think the MC's being petty right now. Because, like, we've already established this is not a human. Ursi? Wait a second. I think Snow's the one barking. If so, she's deaf. Pardon me 1 second. What you doing barking? Who out there? Go in bed. Alright. Sorry about that. Every time he shows more of the monster side, he's cute. The cuter he is to me. No. I mean, I just feel like you can tell somebody is obviously a monster, then like, why are you surprised that he's more monster than he was before? Like, come on, just accept that he is a unknown, and work with it, bro. How else are you gonna date a monster? Yeah, the tail and extra eyes is something I would be worrying about since he already is green and has horns. Or it is not something I would be worrying about. Yeah, agreed. We've already established he's, like, not human, so pushing him farther away from human, it shouldn't be weird. Oh, man, here's a creature I'd never met before. Of course, any standard I have would not be normal. At least we can tell he's animalistic. It's not like he has, like, pairs of eyes on his tail. That'd be something weird. I had to hydrate. Let's begin. He seemed to be holding his breath as I gripped the edge of the table. It felt unsettling every time he blinked those eyes in succession, even when he wasn't looking at me. Nah, Protag, you're just racist. If he was part snake, you'd also be doing the same thing, and that's even more relatable than whatever this is. Was it real? It had to be. Everything about him made so much more sense. Protag, what is this revelation? The isolation, the avoidant behavior. He looked freaky, yeah. But he also looked sad. I swallowed thickly. I'm not scared. Michael's many pupils blew wide, dilating like an excited wildcat. It sent a shiver up my spine. Okay, maybe just a bit scared? Sorry. The realization came too late, protagonist. We already know. Yeah, Protag is a bit dumb. Like, Crystal, we gonna fight, Crystal! He hastily grabbed an empty plate and hid behind it, shoulders scrunched up despite his stature.
Would it help if I just hide it?
Bro, if you needed to hide it, you just put down your hair again. You ain't gotta put it up the plate. God damn it, Michael! Michael, put your hair down! My current theory is that Forge is the protagonist. Oh, wait, go back.
Would it help if I just hide it?
I could fix my hair like before, if that's what you prefer. His voice was muffled behind the ceramic barrier between us. It was kind of endearing. I slowly reached out to touch his hand, the slight brush of my fingertips making him jump in place. Michael?
Yeah? Can you put that down?
He slowly lowered the plate. His eyes were still darted to the side, avoiding me. Can you look at me?
Don't look at me like that.
Honestly, the fact that they went through like 5 or 6 frames just for that 1 second, chef's kiss. Passion project right there. That's how you know. I'm sorry. I just can't stop looking. This was so awkward. His hands were shaking. I looked down at the mug still floating next to him, hanging on for dear life. I reached over and plucked it out of his grasp. I tentatively took a sip, noticing how Michael was watching me over the rim of the mug. The taste was mildly spicy, almost with an earthy bite to it. I recognized it instantly as ginger tea. Oh, that's good if we're feeling sick. He looks blue. It's almost room temperature, but it's still pretty good. Huh? You wanted me to try the tea, right? I like it, so thank you.
I'm glad.
Michael relaxed back into his seat, following my lead as I picked up my fork once more. The silence didn't last long as Michael fidgeted.
Are you really okay with this? With me?
I gave him a once-over, really taking in his features. It's, very different than what I'm used to. But I think I can learn to like it. Is that weird to say? I mean, you're not bad to look at. It's actually kind of,
Damn it, what do I say?
We like monsters here. We like monsters here. Hot.
Hot? You're not referring to the temperature, are you?
No, I'm not. 4 monster efforts.
Oh.
He looked confused, but seemed embarrassed anyway. My point is, your appearance shouldn't matter. You've been nothing but kind to me so far. I'd be the worst kind of person to judge someone based on how they look. I haven't known you for that long, but you seem like a good person. You're fine, Michael. I smiled at him. We're fine.
I see.
He fidgeted some before nodding, smiling a little bit.
Thanks, Forcoon. I'll cherish this moment forever.
He beamed at me as he enthusiastically went back to eating his food. That is a very good frame of him. He's cute. Monster efforts, this chat is made of them all. I would not say all, but it is all of them. That was something. We continue with a bit of small talk, mostly about stories about Samantha or snippets from my personal life. Michael hung on to every word I said, not bothering to elaborate much about himself, despite my burning curiosity. I could tell he was extremely insecure about his appearance, so it's probably best I keep my questions to myself for tonight. We cleared up the kitchen in relative silence, Michael storing away the rest of the pie as I washed the dishes by the sink. Being out here in this remote cabin, I wonder how he had running water. Maybe I'll ask him later.
Hi Juan, welcome to chat.
So, thanks for dinner.
Thanks for the company. Oh, and please, take the bed tonight.
But...
You're my guest, and I'm the host. Take the bed, okay?
Alright. I'll be out of your hair first thing in the morning. Michael got quiet, staring at the floorboards. With his hair out the way, I could finally read his expressions. Oh, you just woken up? Oh, good to hear, Juan. We were actually playing a follower request. This was some of my paid points for me to play this game. It was Clownish, who sadly left because of obligations. But we're still going to at least finish the game, because this will eventually become a VOD. So, say hello, future person who's listening to this in the future. Thank you for watching. He did seem upset. Is that okay? I do need your help, though. I'm pretty sure I'm not just gonna get lost, I'm pretty sure I'm just gonna get lost again on my own. His tail flickered behind him.
Yeah, I'll bring you home tomorrow morning.
I heaved a sigh of relief. Thanks, Michael. I'll see you in the morning.
Yeah. Good night, Forcoon.
Good night, Michael. You really seemed happy being able to say that. I plopped myself down into Michael's bed, getting comfy beneath the blanket. Michael was gathering some blankets of his own to make a makeshift bed on the floor in front of the fire. He had an impressive collection of knitted items, a comfortable nest forming in the center of the room. My eyes trailed after his tail, but now out in the open as it flicked and swayed. Kind of like a cat. I miss Samantha. Now, with a full stomach, dozing off came easy. I didn't even realize how tired I was. I listened to the gentle crackling of the fire, my vision darkening.
Good night, Forcoon.
So I saw that and I didn't fall back and I just fell back asleep? Damn, what was it, that tea? Huh? Soft humming invaded my dreams, stirring me awake. I blinked my eyes open to unfamiliar surroundings, swaddled in a blanket that clearly wasn't mine. Where? Oh. I spotted a familiar figure of my host, seated on a stool in front of the fire, hands deftly working on the green scarf bundled at its lap. His back was towards me, but I caught glimpses of his fingers as the needles softly clicked between the yarn. He looked incredibly adept at using them, the rhythmic movements almost hypnotic as the fibers wound together into an intricate pattern. I slowly stirred into a sitting position, rubbing my eyes. The movement quickly caught his attention, ear flicking in my direction before his eyes trained onto me. And just like last night, his pupils blew up as we made eye contact. His expression lit up in the instant he saw me. Borkun! Hey! I'm glad you're finally awake. You look so tired. I didn't want to disturb you until you got enough rest. Good morning, Michael.
Good morning, Borkun. Did you sleep well?
I was still too groggy to answer his question. A yawn slipping out as I stretched. He smiled kindly, a soft chuckle under his breath.
Like a baby, then.
He pointed over his shoulder to the door beneath the fireplace, tilting his head towards it.
Can, freshen up in the bathroom if you'd like, while I start making us some food. I'd have eaten breakfast by now, but I want you to join me while the food was still hot. How do eggs and toast sound?
Oh, let's go off the beaten path. Let's see what happens if I... Do you have something else?
Oh, I can make some fresh salad if that's what you prefer. I'd love that. Thank you.
Of course. Oh, okay. So these are this is more like food oriented. All right, cool.
Of course.
He tucked away his knitting materials and set it aside.
So I got a surprise for you after breakfast. It's not the most exciting surprise, but just join me when you're ready.
He ducked into the room without another glance. I could hear his boots thud about the floorboards, cabinets opening and closing in succession in the kitchen. I suppose that's my cue. I rolled out of breath. Leaving the warmth of Michael's blankets and trotting over to the door Michael pointed out. Stepping inside, I didn't know what I was expecting when he said he had a bathroom, but it was surprisingly spacious. Everything looked like it was carved and polished out of wood. Seemed to have everything you'd find in a modern bathroom. Sink, cabinet, shower, tub, even a toilet. And incredibly hard to find in the woods, toilet paper. Curious, I crept over to the toilet in particular, inspecting it. There wasn't a tank like you'd expect where water to be stored, so there was a compartment to the side full of sawdust and a scoop. I expected it to have a bit of a smell, but it was surprisingly odorless. There's even a roll of toilet paper on the side. There was no flushing system, but it was hygienic. Michael must have done his research. Walking over to the sink, I stared at the faucet before hesitantly twisting it. I jumped when I heard the rush of water pouring in, swirling in the basin before disappearing to who knows where. Wow. Why am I impressed by a damn functioning bathroom sink? I helped with the dishes last night. I already knew Michael had plumbing. Shaking my head, I finished freshening up and headed to the kitchen. Okay, honestly, okay, Protag is kind of slow, because, yeah, we did learn about this last night. Although, I will admit, the toilet thing was kind of cool to learn. Also, doesn't wood expand in the presence of water? Like, this is, I don't know if a wooden bathtub is the best thing to have. Michael looked up as I entered, a steaming kettle in his hand, with 2 empty mugs on the counter. It might have been the lighting, but he was taller than I remembered. Glancing to the table, I can already see he already finished plating up our food. Oh, wow. You work fast. Michael looked proud of himself.
Can't have my guests stay on an empty stomach. Go on, have a seat. I'll join you in a moment.
I returned to smile and sat down, stomach grumbling as we looked at our plates. Just as promised, Michael had prepared a delightful bowl of salad. Fresh lettuce, cherry tomatoes, minced carrots, and onions. I could see a bit of homemade croutons added to the mix too. A drizzle of dressing was weaved through the colorful ensemble, enticing me to take a bite. It was quick and simple, but I could tell he put a lot of effort into it. I couldn't wait to dig in. Michael set down a steaming mug beside me before settling into his own seat. Peeking above the rim, I could see small flowers floating about, tinting the water yellow. Wait. Peeking above the rim, I could see small flowers floating about, tinting the water yellow. It faintly smelled of apples. Is this chamomile tea? I recognized the yellow dried pellets of tea packaging I've seen before. Oh, yeah! Read it! Oh, chamomile! He nodded.
I hope you like it.
I'm sure I will. His smile widened, his tail swaying by the tip of his feet. He seemed more relaxed, showing his natural features this morning. Any trace of panic or hesitation from last night were gone, replaced by a look of contentment. Michael bit into his toast, and I followed suit. The food was as delicious as I expected. One forkful of the salad had me sighing in delight, the taste and textures mingling on my tongue. I love cherry tomatoes. I could tell these were fresh, and nothing beats fresh ingredients straight out of a garden. Michael was happy to eat in silence, occasionally looking up to me as I enjoyed my food. He'd smile when our eyes met, his bottom pair narrowing to a happy squint. I wonder if he'd been open to some questions. 1 second, let me hydrate. Alright, back to it. Hey. Do you mind? Pardon, I got the accents backwards. Hey, do you mind if I ask? How do you have plumbing in your house? I know it's a silly question, but I can't stop thinking about it.
Oh, you were wondering about that?
The embarrassed look on my face is probably enough of an answer.
Aw. Well, it's nothing fascinating. It's just rainwater I've got stored above the cabin.
Just rainwater? He nodded. I detected a hint of pride as he continued. It's actually a recent installment, believe it or not. Granted, the project took a while, gathering materials, figuring out the tools, finding the right instruction manuals. Plus, I had to figure out where to store the water tank.
Don't worry, I installed a filtration system so it's safe for us to use. I check in every few weeks to make sure nothing's contaminated.
That sounded daunting, especially considering you lived all the way out here in the woods. You did that all on your own?
I kinda had to. Anyways, a whole lot of calibrating and adjusting, but it really worked out. And now that I think about it, I'm glad you get to be comfortable here during your stay too. Does that answer your question?
Hey, how did Four react when he found out Michael's little reveal? Since I had to leave. Which reveal? The hair flying up or what? They're in tail. Yeah. Oh. I was, both me and Ruby were in the same camp. We were like, come on, Protag, you're pretty thick. You already saw the horns and the ears. I'm like, just accept it. Just accept it. Look, we're in the beast people here. We're very accepting. We're very accepting, of course. Where did you learn how to do all that? Cut the protagonist some slack. What Ruby said. What Ruby said. I'm not going to put this in the VOD, but what Ruby said. Michael. I had to figure out a lot of things on my own. There was a faint hint of exhaustion in his eyes. But to answer your question, I go to libraries a lot. What? How? That's where I learned about a majority of things. The fact he even ventured into buildings at all already surprised me. Yeah! Aren't you like out in the boonies? And if I'm really lucky, they have all these neat DIYs and workshop manuals or archive for anyone to browse through. It took me a while to figure everything out. A really long time, actually. But hey! I had nothing but time. And it paid off.
Ruby said that everyone here will forever be monster effers and Crystal Mia Wayapi Bonkers played text-to-speech for 25 channel points.
Don't get me banned off YouTube. No, you're fine, you're fine. I'm considering upgrading the toilet next, but for now the composting setup works up fine. Learn about that in my old camping guide. He paused to take a breath, as if he hasn't talked this much in a while. I'm rambling, but that's how I did it. Is there anything else you want to ask? Yeah, wait, you've been to libraries? His ears perked up, posture straightening. Oh, yeah! I can't tell you how much books have helped me. I've only made it this far because I quickly figured out how to read. Well, I figured out that I can read. Do you visit often? In my early days? Any chance I could get?
There's a Michael plushie I found I wanted so bad, it's adorable. Clownish Goat played text-to-speech for 25 channel points.
Nowadays, I stick to my side of the forest, though. I think he'd make for a very cute plushie. Gotta make sure people don't wander too far off when they're meant to. I pause in my chewing at the teasing lit in his voice. Hey! Oh, he's making fun of me. I see what he did. I'm joking. Anyways, if you're wondering what I do about this, he gestured towards his face. I just have to make sure everything's covered. You'd be surprised how little people pay attention to me when I bundle up just right. Do, people not give you trouble? He shrugged nonchalantly. Small town libraries are usually so empty from my experience. And people just mind their own business there. I guess that's true. I can't remember the last time I visited a library. I guess libraries would be Michael's equivalent to the World Wide Web. I should introduce him to the internet sometime. Actually, maybe not. Not without parental controls. Finally satisfied, I nodded and went back to eating my food. Where'd you learn how to cook? Cottage pie is a pretty complicated recipe. Wonder if anyone taught you how to cook. I'd be lucky if someone could teach me how to make boiled eggs, Firefly. But it was trial and error, mostly. My earlier endeavors were pretty much inedible. I picked up a thing or two from about cooking, though, so your taste buds aren't going to fall victim to any nasty creations, like in my early days, at least. Speaking of, did you enjoy dinner last night? Of course I did! You're a really good cook, Michael. I'm glad. It probably wasn't obvious, but I'm really happy I got to cook for you. I don't get guests often, in case you couldn't tell. I should ask you to cook for me every day, then.
He grinned at my joke, looking pleased. I'd be happy to. I chuckled as I took another bite.
So, what's your favorite thing to cook?
He lit up at the question. Fried mushrooms.
Fried mushrooms?
Yeah. There's plenty to find, and it's easy to make.
Huh. I do remember finding a patch of mushrooms yesterday. They smelled pretty funky, though. Oh, he stopped smiling.
You remember that?
Huh? What was that?
Nothing. Anyways, mushrooms are the only thing I had for a while before figuring out I could eat other stuff like roots and veggies.
Do you forage all of your ingredients?
Mostly. The times I figured out how to catch fish and hunt game were the best of my life, I'll tell you that. My first taste of meat?
You did an awkward version of a chef's kiss, as if mimicking something he saw on television once. Okay. I don't know if the chef's kiss was from television. I'm pretty sure that's an internet meme.
Mamma mia.
Was he trying to say Mamma mia? He continued, before I could even dwell on it for even a second longer.
But, nothing beats what you humans are able to make. You guys go nuts with ingredients. Rice was a challenge. It's a precious ingredient that I actually had to get some from a store. Once I figured out how to make it nice and fluffy, I consider it a special treat.
I did a double take. You go to the store?
Yeah?
I'm sorry, Protag. He already established that he knows of a small town. It wouldn't be hard to steal a bag of rice. Just saying.
Where else would I get it?
I thought you'd grow it yourself or something. Forcoon? Protag. Rice requires, like, rice paddies. Like, it requires a very specialized type of land. Like, come on, man.
He laughed as I flushed in embarrassment.
I thought it said Mama Mid when I first saw it.
It's flattering you think I'm even capable of something that impressive, but no.
There's only so much forest can provide. Yeah, this is the wrong biome for this Protag. Do you not know where rice grows? But, what about money? We're talking about human currency, right? Otherwise, how would you... Protag, do you actually have a job? A thought occurred to me.
Or did you steal it?
He is a animal living on the fringe of society. I don't think he had a choice. Not exactly the employable type in front of you, friend. He almost looked offended.
Do you take me for a criminal?
Okay, am I about to eat my own words? Am I about to eat my own words? No! But that would mean that... Then how? Michael bit into his toast, his two eyes winking in mischief.
I have my ways, Firefly.
What's that supposed to mean? What's it like living in the woods? I still can't believe how cozy you've managed to make it, considering the whole middle of nowhere thing.
It wasn't like this when I found it.
No?
It was a major,
fixer-upper? So, the cabin was abandoned. I never would have guessed.
Yeah. I felt really happy I got to live somewhere permanent for once. It's not much, but it's home.
What's it like?
Peaceful. Quiet. I do like it a lot. My forest provides me with everything I need. And nobody bothered me for the way I look out here. His ears twitched slightly. Sometimes you just happen to end up where it's most convenient for you. And everyone else. The way he avoided my eyes, as he said that, gave me the impression there's something more to it. Like his home just wasn't out of convenience, but a fear of something else. Obviously! Bruh, this man would be crucified for the way he looks. Rejection, perhaps? Yes! Protag! Or something worse. Anyways, I don't really have anything else to say about it, unless there's something specific you want to ask. He doesn't think about his answer much before beaming at me. What about you? I know you've told me a little bit about yourself, but what's it like being you? Damn, 4 coons too. Well said, clownish. Well said. I scoffed, waving a hand. But please, I'm the least interesting person in this room. Trust me. Oh my god, that almost had like a 3D effect. I know they just made the JPEG bigger, but like that was cute. That was a very smart way to use that frame. His eyes were shining in earnest as he leaned forward. Tell me anyway. Well, I told him about my life. At least the parts I was comfortable with sharing. Just like last night, his eyes didn't leave my face, occasionally darting about my features and interest. The direct oogling was making me nervous, but I suppose I was doing the exact same thing when it was his turn to talk. Eventually, I came to the topic of my job and the woes of living in modern capitalism. I am a bit jealous. You have the whole cottagecore aesthetic practically perfect. Mercy. 1 second. Back. His face morphed into a confused pout. Cottagecore? I explained to him in my own words. Oh, it'd be really funny if whoever's playing this game didn't know what cottagecore meant. I mean, obviously, like this really gives really strong cottagecore vibes, but like, it's not impossible for the player to not know. You're saying you want to live the way I do, out in the woods? I nodded without hesitation. I mean, I wouldn't mind showing you the ropes. His tone seemed strangely lilted. Lilted. L-I-L lilted. Lilted. Lilted? Is this L supposed to be here? I don't know. Lilted. I'm not familiar with that word. What do you mean? Never mind. Anyways, wait, why was this? Bro. This game is nothing but like endless dialogue. A single typo is not an issue. Trust me, a single typo in this game is not an issue. Like every single game that has this much text, VA or like visual novels, that kind of stuff, there's going to be moments of bad writing and there's going to be typos. It's just fun to point them out. It's perfectly fine. Please keep in mind this game originally released in 2023 for a game contest, and I don't think it's expected to get as far as it is right now. Oh, you meant the questioning parts. Lidded is to be spirited or cheerful. Got you. And how stupid the protag is. Yeah. Yeah. Stupid protag is kind of a trope. And let's be honest, it's not necessarily a flaw if it's consistent. Does that make sense? You can have a stupid protag
as long as it's consistent. I just don't want my character to be like super smart all of a sudden. You know what I mean?
I don't get what the appeal is, but it's not easy either, you know? The Force provides, but it's up to me to make use of it. Starting out was...
A dark look crossed over his face, as if reliving a bitter memory.
Oh, rough. But I am built for survival.
I feel like asking him to elaborate would make things awkward. I decided to veer the topic onto a different direction. Doesn't it get lonely?
Sometimes. But I'm used to it.
He smiled, his eyes lighting up.
But besides, I have you at the moment, don't I? I never thought I'd enjoy having someone around. You must be really special.
I'm starting to know a lot more about Michael. He didn't directly say it, but I felt like he was lonelier than he was letting on. Not to mention how he managed to make a home for himself on his own. I wonder if he had anyone at all.
Hey, do you have any family around? Family?
His expressions turned solemn for a moment before he looked sheepish.
Remind me how that works again? I get the concept based on some books I've read. I don't have what you call parents, if that's what you're asking.
My mouth dropped open in shock.
No parents?
He shrugged and took another bite of toast.
Not that I recall. Then how did you... What's it like living with so many people in such close proximity?
Come on, Protag, he's orphaned, okay? He's obvious... Okay, the most likely situation is that this guy's, like, abandoned. Or born of... Like, that's the most likely scenario at this moment in time.
Huh? That's how it works, right? You and the other humans living in one house. And you have this, Dena thing that makes you be able to relate to the rest. That makes a family, right?
Was he talking about DNA? His definition threw me off, but I'd answer some. Oh man, I'm happy Protag picked that up because when he said Dena, I thought he meant like antenna, like communicating with people, and that family watches television together. That's the direction I thought he was going to go in. It makes sense on why he does not realize why we would search for a cat then. Correct. This is consistent writing.
No, not just that. Family is...
people that you're related to, like your mom and your dad and your siblings and relatives. People that you love and care about, who love and care about you too.
Actually, I guess they are just people you live in close proximity to. Whether by choice or not.
No, we have not seen the chickens yet.
I don't know if I should pick the top one or the middle one.
Because found family is true. Like, there's people who I consider like family. People that you love and care about, who love and care about you too.
He seemed intrigued. Is that so? That does sound nice. Is there anyone that you love and care about?
Of course I do. I have family. Heck, I'd even call my cat family.
Ah, right. Obviously.
And this is the same for all families. I bit my lip, pondering the question. It would be naive to think that. A lot of families do love and take care of another, but not everything's perfect. Sometimes that love could be misplaced, or taken advantage of, or even abused.
Michael looked thoughtful. So it starts with Love. I've read some stories about that. But love, I mean. Though certain feelings just don't make sense to me. At least from a reader's perspective.
I guess you'd have to experience for yourself to understand. He stared at me, unblinking, for a moment.
Yeah, you might be right. I never considered that. Then again, who'd bother loving a monster like me, huh?
What? You're not a monster.
I look like one, don't I?
That's besides the point. Clownish says, me, I would bother.
You are not denying it, though.
I'm just saying, it's okay.
You don't have to lie to me. So, family.
Right. To be fair, everyone's definition of family could be different. What about you? What's your definition of family? Michael looked surprised. I asked him that question.
I don't know. I've never had one, and I think your answer just confused me more.
Well, if you ever figure it out, let me know. Michael stared at the remaining clubs on his plate before he nodded, avoiding my gaze.
Sure.
We both fell quiet, the lull in conversation blanketing us in a comfortable silence. All this family talk, they remind me of the reason why I'm out here in the first place. To look for my beloved cat, a sight I might never be able to see again. I couldn't help the sinking feeling in my chest, the growing pit in my stomach. I wish I was able to find Samantha. You would have loved her. Michael opened his mouth to say something, but changed his mind. My voice warbled as a lump formed in my throat. Sorry. I just miss her so much. I keep thinking if I just went looking for her sooner, maybe I would have been able to find her by now. He was quick to speak up.
You did your best, Firefly.
Nobody else could have gone to lengths that you did. You almost risked getting yourself... I'm sure.
Wherever she is, she's doing okay.
You really think so?
I know so.
His voice was laced with confident assurance, despite the worried look on his face. I nodded with a quiet sniff. I hope so. She's just important to me, is all. Michael looked like he wanted to reach across the table for me, but sighed instead. Actually, I'm sorry, Forcoon.
I should tell you. Maybe I do have a family. Now that I think about it. That was the surprise I mentioned before.
Wait, really?
He nodded. Are you done? I could go. I could take you to go meet them right now.
I looked down at my plate. During the conversation, I didn't realize I finished the meal. Yeah, I'm done. His movements were quick, stacking our empty plates and mugs and setting them in the sink. He grasped my hand before I could say another word, pulling me up and heading outside with me in tow. As the door swung open, I could only see the forest ahead, before he tugged me along as he rounded the side of the cabin. Almost immediately, my peripherals were assaulted with greens on both sides. I figured he was the type to grow his own vegetables, but seeing in person as confirmation was a whole different thing. With Michael leading the way, I only had a moment to take in the surrounding garden. He had marked the different plots with messy drawings on small wooden signs jutting out of the dirt. Carrots, lettuce, potatoes, trellises of tomatoes and beans. Yes, tomatoes! I haven't been able to differentiate one plant from to another without the signs. Even the chamomile from our tea just now grew abundantly close by, the small buds swaying gently. I bumped into Michael as he stopped, the man looking over his shoulder to beam at me. We looked at what looked like a fenced-off wall area, with a bit of netting stretching all around. He stepped aside, watching me as my eyes widened. Chickens! Aww!
So this one's Huey, this one's Dewey, and this one is Louie.
3 fat, happy little hens shredded like they owned the place. As he entered through the gate, the hens swarmed over in an instant at Michael's feet, circling him and pecking at his boots.
Ladies, meet Forcoon.
Forcoon? These are Mawar, Sansiu, and Primrose.
Or as I like to call them, Marmar, Sunny, and Rosie.
He ducked to pick one up, fluffing her feathers as he smiled. Aww. They gently scratched the hen's little head, which I assumed was Rosie. She practically melted at his pampering, eyes sliding shut. The other 2 flapped their wings in a huff, and went about their business once more. Michael leaned closer, beckoning me to pet Rosie. She was so soft.
Rosie's the oldest. She doesn't lay eggs anymore, but I couldn't bring myself to, you know. So I brought her some friends. Marmar came first. Sunny's a more recent addition. What you think? Do we make a good family?
I laughed and nodded, watching as Rosie nuzzled into Michael's chest. I didn't expect chickens of all things.
Well, were you expecting something else?
I was expecting it to be someone else. Oh, okay, let's be honest. Protag, you're being a little insensitive right now. This is Michael's version of family. Accept it. Accept life on his terms.
No. When you look like me, people generally don't stick around.
And there's that negative self-talk again. Protag, you called the cat family. Shush. Yes! That's so true! That is so true! You don't even look that bad. His eyes flicked to mine, a look of pleasant surprise coming across his face. You really think so? Yeah? Clownish says, God, I love the way the chickens are drawn. Yes!
Look at these little chickies. I love her. I want to pet her.
You can't be that naive, Firefly. I mean it. He let off a polite scarf as he scratched Rosie's head absently.
You genuinely believe people wouldn't run away at the sight of me?
Well, I didn't. His face turned smug, the corner of his lips lifting just a bit.
Of course you didn't. Because you couldn't.
Shoot. He wasn't wrong. I was pretty much paralyzed in his bed when we first met. But I still don't think you look that bad. Yeah, from the dialogue options, yes. Yes, we are that naive. So true. So true.
Is that so? Describe me then. What? You heard me. Look at me and describe what you see.
For a second, I thought he was being condescending, but looking at his eyes, all I could see was a bit of playfulness. He looked at me expectantly, eyes shining. You're tall.
Go on.
You have blonde hair. He gave it an amused squint, his left ear twitching.
What else?
You have green skin and a tail. He chuckled as if there was no malice in it.
But that's not all, is it?
He definitely expected me to say it straight. Oh, fine. So you don't look human. So what? He hummed absently.
As I was saying, animals generally don't care if you look like a monster.
My heart twisted at his words. His passive nonchalance somehow makes it even worse. Michael, you're not a The tug at my shoelace caught my attention. A light brown head stood at my feet, her beady eyes shine. Oh, that is... Oh my god. Oh my god. Does this hen have beauty sparkles? Does this hen have beauty sparkles? Am I playing Hado for a boyfriend? Yo, low key, is this wait, Hado for? The one where you date the pigeons! Sunny flapped her wings almost expectantly.
Oh, I think she likes you. Go ahead, pick her up. Gently. Like how I did with Rosie.
I hesitated, but I slowly lowered myself to cup Sunny by her wings. Lifting her up, she was quick to nestle herself until she was comfortably tucked under my arms. I could feel her wings wiggling as she nuzzled into my side. So cute. Hado for a boyfriend? Yup. Michael's gaze softened as I cooed at the chicken, mimicking her small clucks.
So, did it help? Cheering you up, I mean.
Oh, so that's what this was. A fuzzy feeling bloomed in my chest as he looked at me, chicken in his arms and concern on his face. I mean, a little bit, yeah.
Only a little?
I snickered, rolling my eyes. Okay, mister. A lot.
That's more like it.
His broad grin was infectious.
Also, low-key, when he jumped like half a second ago, you can actually see that his tail was disconnected.
I mean, obviously, this wasn't supposed to be a full body pic, but just some small things I noticed. I couldn't help smiling back. I spent a bit more time with the hens, petting them until they were satisfied. Michael even showed me a spot where they like to have their dust baths. Little chicken-shaped holes scattered about in dry soil beneath the coop. Once the gals had enough of us, we refilled their water container before leaving. He left them some treats, procuring them straight out of his pockets, before shutting the gate. The girls' excited chatter over the food faded as we made our way back inside his cabin. I sat by his bed as he crashed down by the fireplace. From the window, I could see the sun outside was getting higher. It might be close to afternoon now. Hey, Michael? He looked at me from where he was stroking the fire. I rubbed my arms, unsure where to place my gaze. I think it's a good time for me to go now. I didn't... My expression fell, but I caught myself quickly. He did his best to cheer me up. It'd be inconsiderate towards him to leave in a bad mood. I might have to accept that I'll never see Samantha again. I think it's better if I focus on moving on. He was quiet for a moment, hands in his pockets.
If you say so. But you don't have to leave just yet. We still got plenty of daylight left, and there's some places I want to show you. Won't you come with me?
I had to decide.
I promise I'll take you home right after.
He took another step towards me.
Please, Firefly?
I didn't want to say it, but he looked desperate. Okay. I'll go with you. The joy on his face was bright, shining bright as a billboard. Look at him smile. Nothing's wrong with those eyes. I promise.
Great. Let's go. Let me go get our stuff.
He disappeared into the kitchen, returning with my backpack in one hand and a satchel in the other. He passed it to me as he walked by towards the front door. Huh. I almost forgot I had this. Rifling through my bag, I found cat treats, Samantha's collar, a broken compass, and my phone. Okay, sorry that I left. What happened? Okay, so, he showed us his, pet chickens, which is his version of family. And then we were like, hey, look, we spent an entire extra day here. We kind of had dinner. You showed me your family. We had a great talk. It's getting late. I think I should go home. And then he just said, hey, you don't want to go home. That's not as crazy. That's just how he's look when he's really happy. Of course. But yeah, so essentially he literally a prompt popped up on screen saying leave or stay, and it immediately closed. But apparently, he gave us back our bag, and in our bag we found our cell phone. The battery was dead, though. Still, that's one last thing to worry about. I checked through my bag once more, finding an empty water bottle. I frowned, sneakily remembering I forgot to pack water for my trip. Or at least, Michael told me I did. Oh, yeah! Didn't I? You ready? I looked up at Michael, startling when I spotted a large crossbow in his hands. He followed my gaze and shrugged, albeit with a nervous smile, like he'd been caught doing something he shouldn't be. He quickly shot the weapon to his back and out of sight. Don't worry, I'm not going to use it unless necessary. I would hope not. He chuckled at my indignant tone. I mean, to be fair, if you live out in the boonies and you go out in the country, you don't know you don't know if there's bears. You don't know if there's bears, hyenas, cheetahs, giraffes. You don't know what you're going to get attacked by. Killer whale, elephant. As an American, I think the Second Amendment should always be honored. And a little bit of protection, especially against wild creatures. Something to keep on hand. Oh yeah, coyotes. You think I'm gonna let you... you think I'm gonna let you out the woods without guaranteeing your safety? I made a promise to get you home, so this is just an extra precaution. You don't think it's a bit much? Actually, no. He lives out in the boonies. Do you realize how far... You walked an entire day into the forest, bro. Come on, protag. Better safe than sorry, Firefly. Nah, Michael's right about this one. He did have a point. If anyone knew these woods and what kind of danger it held, it'd be Michael. I glanced him over again, noticing he changed his oversized cardigan for something more outdoor appropriate. His eyes tracked mine, his shoulders stiffening as a tint spread across his face. So, shall we? He opened the door and waved me out. I stepped outside to glance around his front yard. The landscape wasn't anything special. It was actually left quite plain, just thick with trees and foliage. Only paths of dirt and flattened grass clued me in on the routes Michael would use as he comes and goes, webbing in all directions, trailing to the front door. Come to think of it, anyone would be able to spot Michael's house if they just squinted through the trees carefully enough. I guess he was right then. Nobody walked through this area in years. I heard a lock turn before Michael joined me by my side. He smiled wide before tipping his head in a direction, making sure I was behind him before he started walking. I was hesitant, but followed suit. It was quiet as we traveled, save for the sounds of nature calling out around us. The weather was bright and warm, the sun casting pretty rays through the gaps in the trees. I had to admit, enjoyable as it was, the bird calls and rustling of leaves as we walked somewhat brought bad memories. Yesterday was miserable. I was lost, tired, and hungry. There's a chance I wasn't going to make it out alive. I watched Michael's back as he led the way, the man barely paying any mind to his surroundings. Wait, excuse me? His ear would occasionally flick back in my direction, but overall he seemed confident in where to go. Okay, so he's just really confident with where he's going. Having Michael as my guide home was definitely a great assurance. It even made me more grateful if he'd found me when he did. I sighed and shook off the negative feelings, keeping pace while appreciating the fresh air. I stepped up next to my companion, willing my voice to speak after plenty of silence. Hey, this is actually kind of nice. Huh? Good old nature walk. I coughed in my fist, feeling embarrassed. I don't go outside as often as I should. Michael smiled kindly. I'm glad I get to bring you then. Yeah, feels different when you know when you're going. Actually, where are we going? He sensed my nervousness and laughed. Don't worry, we're almost there. I looked up and saw it before he even pointed it out. A clearing in the distance. The trees growing strangely sparse in that area. As I held my breath, I noticed the grass slowly started to dot with flowers. Delicate blooms swaying here and there in the breeze. As we got closer, Michael watched me as my mouth dropped open, a knowing twinkle in his eyes. Is it time to die in a beautiful location, says Ruby? It was breathtaking. A view to die for. A secluded little meadow of flowers, lit up by beams of light, making the scenery resemble a page from a forgotten fairy tale. Butterflies flitted about in pairs, their wings flickering and complementing the surreal yet enchanting ambience of the whole place. Michael let me gawk some more before walking ahead, turning to face me before sitting down to relax on the grass. He slipped off his satchel and laid it on the grass by his side, along with his crossbow. I blinked out of my stupor and... God damn it, Michael, you're getting to my regular voice too. I blinked out of my stupor and approached him, spinning around to drink everything in before plopping myself down next to him. So, what do you think? Pretty, isn't it? This is making me want to play Minecraft for some reason. Let's be honest, Minecraft does have some beautiful forests. If you get a good spawn, Minecraft has some really pretty forests. I nodded dumbly before finally glancing to face him, the man's gaze on me softening as our eyes met. A butterfly approached us wildly, making me flinch on instinct. It landed on his finger as he held it out, its wings flapping gently. He smiled at the dainty creature, a fond look in his eyes, before he held it out towards me. Do you like butterflies, Forku? I love butterflies. I do. I think they're so pretty. This is amazing, Michael. His usual prideful smirk was absent, replaced instead with a shy smile. I'm glad you liked it. The sun was at its peak now, the air getting warmer as minutes passed. The leafy canopy over us provided enough cover for us to not overheat. Michael picked a flower with his other hand and placed it in my palm, his tail looping loosely around us both as my cheeks darkened. Aww! He closed his eyes and leaned back further, the butterfly still resting on his hand. Ruby says, I always get those mountain forests that are so awkward to traverse that they're not fun to see. Ah! But Rubes, don't you have like infamously bad luck? My ears caught the soft rumbling before I realized it was coming from his direction. I almost wanted to ask, but I didn't want to ruin the moment. My gaze dropped as I twirled my flower in my hand, holding the stem delicately. It almost sounds like he's purring. The gesture felt platonic, but also romantic. I wonder if Michael was even interested in relationships. He'd been alone most of his life. Probably get tired of my presence sooner or later. Before I could contemplate further, the butterfly on Michael's finger took off, my gaze trailing after it as it left the sunlight and flew away into the woods. Which reminds me. Michael? Huh? Don't get me wrong. This place is stunning. But is it okay if we go now? He straightened from his relaxed slouch. Why? We just got here. I chewed on my lip, hesitating. I love it here. I do. Oh, wait. But, I want to go home, Michael. Michael studied my face.
Poor coon. Do you want to leave me that badly?
What? No! I need time to recover from losing Samantha. I know it's silly and dramatic, but knowing she won't be there when I get home. I trailed off, another shot of guilt and regret filling my chest. I just need to get it done with. I feel a hand rubbing my back. Michael nodded slowly, looking me in the eyes. His smile was gentle.
That's okay. I understand. But maybe this place can help with that. It's a nice spot to nap in, isn't it? I picked it out just for you. Why don't you go ahead and lie down?
His words made you sway, a sudden bout of sleepiness weighing heavy over your eyelids. He was right. It is a nice spot to nap in. Why were you in such a hurry? You yawned, laying back to stretch on the grass. The warmth from the ground seeped through your clothes, lulling you into a sense of comfort and safety. And there you go. Just spend some time with me. Just a bit more. Please.
Here's something else I can show you.
He reached into his satchel and pulled out a wooden box.
It's called a kalimba.
I blinked slowly, clarity coming back as I shook my head to pay attention. The box fit neatly in his hands, Michael holding it as if he were typing on a phone. I could see that he had a hole in the middle with thin straps of metal arranged in a triangular shape over it. What does it do? A proud smirk spread across his face.
I'll show you.
He began to pluck at the metallic prongs. A gentle ringing sound, resonating with every flick of his thumbs. I couldn't recognize the song. He might have made it up himself. I closed my eyes, enjoying the tune. Michael gave a soft chuckle as he kept playing.
Relax and listen for as long as you'd like, Firefly. ... A few minutes passed by with Michael plucking away at the instrument. Two of us sunbathing like two cats on a Sunday afternoon.
I must have dozed off, as the next thing I knew, I felt a nudge on my shoulder.
Comfy?
He chuckled low when I refused to open my eyes.
I mean, if you'd rather stay.
My eyes shot open, my whole body jerking to sit up. Michael glanced at me, kalimba in his lap and a half a forgot-me-not chain in his hands.
What?
Reminds me of a music box. Yeah. In a way, if you really low-key think about it, a music box is a kalimba that just plays itself. Right? Because a music box has like an inbuilt piano, and then the music box has the little studs, which act as fingers that play the piano. If you really think about it. Well, I'm saying piano, but I think it is like literally more like a kalimba where it's like metal prongs. And it hits the metal prongs via the little roller thing. I shook my head, slapping at my cheeks. I can't believe I fell asleep. I still need to...
It's alright. A kalimba is called a hand piano, actually. Oh, interesting.
He cut me off. His sigh was heavy.
I was hoping... never mind. He patted my shoulder, though his smile didn't reach his eyes. Thanks for being here with me. Maybe we can do this again sometime. If I ever see you again. Let's get you home.
He rolled over to his feet and stood up, brushing off dirt and fixing his satchel.
Come on.
We gathered their dry things and set off into the unknown once more. It's also called a Mabira.
Oh.
Well, unknown to me at least. Michael seemed to have a map of this thing ingrained into his brain.
You, seem a bit sleepy still, so let's freshen up, okay?
We walked a bit further away from the clearing, coming across a river. Compared to the rest of the path we walked, this area was shaded considerably, with a thick canopy of leaves over us. The flowing water looked inviting as I kneeled by the bank, Michael idling close by. I dipped my hands in, eager to wash my face. The water was refreshing and cooled my heated skin from the afternoon sun. I pulled my hands back to see Michael peeking over my shoulder, into my reflection, smiling with a faraway look on his face. He startled as our gazes met, irises darting away to look at himself instead. Immediately, his expression changed. His ears flattened, a grimace twisting his features as his lips curled back. I've never seen such contempt in his eyes as I did then, staring at his own visage. He stepped away, retreating underneath the cover of an oak tree to lean against it with crossed arms. He doesn't notice me watching. I patted my hands dry on my shirt and approached him.
You ready?
Yeah. I stopped him before he could turn to leave. He looked at me with a questioning look, tipping his head. I hesitated. I wasn't the type to speak my mind directly. Most of the time I keep things to myself and let things go by. But nobody should look at themselves and have that sort of reaction. Hey, you know you're not, well, might as well be frank. You're not a monster, Michael. He looked taken aback.
What makes you say that?
I saw how you were looking at yourself. How you talk about yourself. None of it's true. I keep telling you, you're more than just your appearance. I don't know what compelled me to do it, but I did it anyway. I reached for his hands and held them between us. His eyes widened at the contact. All it took was a day with you, and truthfully, I think you're the most amazing person I've ever met. He made a choked noise.
I'm
just some old nobody compared to you.
That's not...
Shut up and listen. He promptly shut his mouth with an audible click of his teeth. From where I stand, you saved my life. You've taken care of me better than anything I could ask from a stranger. That only proves to me you're not the monster you think you are. You're charming. You're smart. You're sweet. You're a million more wonderful things. But you are not a monster. I took a second to compose myself, lowering my voice. You may look different, Michael. But guess what? His multiple eyes stared into mine, ears flattening as if fearing the worst. That makes you all the more beautiful to me. His breath hitched. I could feel his hands squeezing mine, fingers trembling. It was like he forgot how to breathe. I realized my hands were getting all sweaty. I pulled away, scratching at my neck and avoiding his gaze. I could feel the blood rush to my face. I could dunk my whole head in the river and I'd still probably let off steam. Sorry, that came out of nowhere. I just didn't feel right if I didn't say anything. I hope you understand. An awkward silence passed between the two of us. Anyways, I caught him mumbling under my breath.
I can't let you
leave. What?
I said, you can't leave. I mean, not without your cat, right?
I frowned. I pretty tried, Michael. Like you said, it was stupid for me to just wander off in the woods as if I'd find her through dumb luck. He paused, his fists clenching.
But I haven't.
Huh?
I haven't tried. I know these woods better than anyone. I could try looking for her. But that means you can't leave yet.
Oh, that expression plus this text. Nah, this is a green flag. Totally a green flag. Nothing to worry about here, folks. This is completely normal behavior. Michael, I appreciate the offer, but I don't think I should stick around any longer. I have a job and responsibilities and you hissed in a pain, a sudden migraine overcoming your senses. You felt sick, your stomach wringing itself into knots. It felt like the world was warping around you as your legs wobbled, your body buckled over as you resisted the urge to vomit. Michael caught you as you slumped gracefully to the ground, your head resting on his shoulder as he cradled you close.
Hey, you don't look so good.
Your vision doubled as he spoke, his speech oozing together words into indecipherable mess.
Are you okay? You need me to carry you home?
Yes, please. Yes, please. Yes, please. Yes, please.
Okay, no problem. You just hang in there. Hang on to me. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. You don't deserve this. If I could just one more day with you, I'd be the happiest man alive. Here we are. Let's get you tucked in. I should give you some clothes. Especially since you'll be staying another night.
Rubs hands together like a greedy little fly.
You're okay with that, aren't you?
I blinked, groggily awake to the sounds of a crackling fire. The itchy texture of worn bed sheets. The weight of a heavy knit blanket. I could recall once or twice having felt these very sensations to the point I'd consider them familiar and comforting. And yet, nothing could prepare me for the bright yellow eyes peering into mine. Sniff. Sniff. Oh my god, the amount of art with Michael and the chickens. Little kids. This is just a little intimidating. Ah! My knuckles hit him square in the face as Michael yelped, nose scrunching as the taller man stumbled backwards into a stool. He landed on his rear with the grace of a clumsy toddler on the floor. I sat up in a panic and immediately grimaced, hiding back on the bed with an unceremonious flop. It hit me in one fell swoop how my whole body was aching. Every single one of my limbs felt like they'd gone through a ringer and came out with the other side all crinkled and wrong. I groaned aloud, leaning my head back on a pillow. Michael shifted back onto his feet, rubbing his nose.
Forcoon!
His voice was an awkward croak before he cleared his throat.
I'm glad you're awake. How are you feeling?
Terrible.
He visibly flinched. I'm so sorry to hear that. He stepped closer to the bed, leaning over warily in case my hand dramatically whips itself out again in self-defense. With my hand settled on my lap, he deemed it safe enough to sit beside me. What happened, Michael? You don't remember? I shook my head, wincing a bit as my head pounded. No, not at all. Michael hesitated. You tripped, and you hit your head. I had to carry you home? His words almost slurred together as he fidgeted. My head? I slowly lifted my hand to feel for bumps or bruises, but he hastily snatched my wrist. Don't worry about that. Here, have this. It'll help. Michael gave me a familiar-looking drink as he quickly pressed a cup into my hands. Sitting up with some effort to take a sip, I couldn't help but feel a small sense of deja vu. The amount of times I woke up in his bed dazed and disoriented is almost uncomfortable now. At least the drink was helping, just like he promised. My body felt lighter as I finished. Michael took the cup from me and set it aside before wringing his hands together with a nervousness I haven't seen for in a while. So, I'm sorry this happened. I didn't mean for you to get hurt. I sighed and waved aside his worry with an embarrassed grumble. Wouldn't be the first time I tripped, if you could believe it. It's not your fault. He gave a soft chuckle, but he sounded guilty. I suppose you're right. It's just... His face looked like he had a million thoughts running through his head. I promised, didn't I? I said I was going to look out for you. I said I was going to keep you safe. Instead, I made you hurt. His voice cracked. I'm so sorry, Forcoon. His sudden change in demeanor was starting to say the least. You couldn't have predicted it was going to happen. And I'm fine. See? Oh, Firefly. I guess you're right. His expression carried a lingering doubt, but he quickly masked it with a small smile, his eyes dim. In that case, you'll be staying. He almost said it like that was a decision that's already been made. Or a plea. What? Do you mean? His eyes darted aside. You agreed to let me find Samantha, remember? Did I say that? Yeah. So, you'll be staying for a while longer, right? He didn't even let me get a word in. In fact, a feeling of uncertainty washed over me. As if we've had this
conversation before.
But besides,
I don't think I should. Besides!
what's the rush?
It's already late.
You're in no condition to travel anyway.
I blinked before glancing out the window. Pitch black darkness greeted me as I realized he was right. Yet, another uncanny feeling spread through my chest, shivers crawling down my spine. I don't know why, but something about this whole situation felt wrong. I feel like I'm forgetting something else. Michael had a nervous look on his face.
Maybe you hit your head harder than you thought.
His words didn't sound confident. Hey, how long was I out?
A couple hours, I think. You, really took a hit.
Oh, it was that bad? My brows creased as I tried to recall today's events. But I don't remember tripping. There was a river. I remember you. And then...
Your memory must be fuzzy, and for a good reason.
After all, it's been a few rough days and... My stomach rumbled suddenly, echoing in the quiet room. There was a heavy silence right after. Michael was polite enough to hide his chuckle under a palm as I flushed. He seemed relieved.
Well, lucky for you, I've got dinner on the way. Should be ready soon. You're okay with soup, right?
Soup. Soup sounds alright. My stomach growled once more, the pain of an empty gut making me wince a bit. My host noticed immediately.
Oh, maybe we should get you some food sooner than later. Do you feel okay enough to get up?
I nodded with a grumble, swinging my legs over the side of the bed, before noticing something was on my lap. Wait, what's this? I'm bundled a pile of thick fabric, realizing it was an oversized sweater with a pair of baggy sweatpants. A mushroom pattern? I gotta admit,
This is a pretty cute outfit.
like the simplicity in its design is what makes it so cute. That's oddly cute. Let's go, Protag. You and me on the same page. Finally. The material felt worn but comfortable. Chickens are now my Discord banner. A towel laid right next to them. Hey, is this for me?
Oh! I figured since you'd be staying another night, you want some French clothes. They might be a few sizes bigger. Or a lot? Sorry.
He's gotten shy for some reason. On the other hand, I didn't have to take a whiff of myself to know that I probably reek. I nodded again, giving him a small but grateful smile. They're fine, Michael. Thank you. Yet another thing I had to owe him. I couldn't help but feeling like I'm taking advantage of his kindness now.
So, you know where the bathroom is. Take your time cleaning up. I'll be in the kitchen if you need anything. I'm really happy you're here.
He stood there for a good few seconds, fidgeting with his hands as if he wanted to say more before finally heading to the kitchen. I watched his back retreat before hoisting myself and heading to the bathroom. Now that I was alone, I had a moment to finally gather my thoughts. The nagging feeling was back, a prickling feeling across my skin, raising goosebumps as if to tell me I shouldn't be here. I just couldn't place my finger on what. I should be careful. I just couldn't shake the feeling that Michael was hiding something. He'd been a gracious host so far, but that didn't make him the most trustworthy either. There's definitely something I'm missing. My mind was wandering, even as I undressed and stepped under the shower. The icy chill of the water did nothing to distract me from my nerves. If anything, it elevated it. I was a shivering mess by the time I was done cleaning myself with whatever soap he had lying around. Okay, to be fair to him, this is literally rainwater, okay? Having a rain heater is kind of a novelty. This ain't part of the horror. This is reasonable. Once I dried myself, I inspected his clothes inside and out to see if there's anything off with them. They smelled like wet grass and burnt wood. Considering his lifestyle, it made sense for his clothes to have that sort of scent stuck to them, I supposed. Putting them on, they just remind me how big and tall Michael was, compared to me at least. I fidgeted and fiddled with his sleeves and waistband until I could move comfortably. There's no mirror in the bathroom, so I'd assume I looked like a walking potato sack. Better than nothing. Okay, just going back one frame real quick. It makes me low-key wonder, this cabin used to be owned by someone else, right? Was there a mirror that used to be up here on the top right? And he took it away? Food for thought. Maybe not, actually, because this might be like indented wood. But still, maybe. Gathering my courage, I shook out my hands and straightened myself before exiting towards the kitchen. A savory scent filled my nose. Michael did mention dinner was almost done. As I entered, I saw Michael by the stove, idly stirring something crimson in a pot, and humming quietly to himself. His content smile widened as he saw me, his ears flickering. I tried not to look uneasy as he looked me up and down.
Well, how'd they fit?
They're alright. Much too big for me. He nodded, turning back to the pot.
I can see that.
Right. His smile faltered as he picked up the wariness in my tone.
Is, everything alright?
His eyes held a sense of worry, his shoulders tensing.
I can get you something else to wear if you'd like.
There's no need. Come on, Protag, be more subtle than this! He paused, hand gripping to the ladle tightly, as he continued to hesitate.
Forcoon.
Just another pause before his brows furrowed.
I'm not an idiot. You don't trust me, do you?
I flinched. Michael looked hurt as he sighed.
So, I'm right.
His ears flicked by the sides of his head as he turned his back towards the stove.
Can I just know why?
His eyes were sad as he stared at the pot. As if he's been in this situation before.
I thought I did everything right.
Truthfully, I didn't expect such a direct confrontation. There's a lump in my throat as my fists clenched at my sides. It's just... Nickettles started whistling, but he was clearly ignoring it. I swallowed down my growing anxiety and decided to be upfront. I just didn't expect to be here again. It felt like the wrong thing to say when Michael's frown deepened.
So you never wanted to be here?
I didn't mean it like that.
And how else could you have possibly mean it?
Another deep sigh slipped out of him as he reached to lift the kettle off the stove, mumbling to himself.
I was hoping you'd be different. What was I thinking?
What'd you say?
Nothing.
Michael? His forlorn expression made my words feel thick on my tongue, forcing me to reluctantly swallow them back down. Any trace of suspicion I had faded was replaced by a feeling of guilt. Look, I'm sorry. I just thought I'd be home by now.
I know. I'm sorry, too.
He lifted his gaze towards me, eyes full of regret.
But is it really so bad, Forkun? I know being lost in the woods with a man you don't know can be scary. But I promise you, you're safe. Last thing I'd ever want is for you to be scared. He trailed off. So just trust me, okay? Can you do that? Please?
I swallowed and gave him a nod. My gut still rolled with suspicion, every fiber of my being wary of him, to a certain extent. He seemed satisfied, though, eager to move on past the tension.
Thank you.
His mouth quivered at the edges, all four of his eyes squinting with the slightest bit of hope.
Please, let it be different for once. Well, why don't you take a seat, Firefly? I'll be right with you.
He was already turning his back towards me, and to start preparing the tea. I slowly approached him. Hey, let me help this time. Michael startled, surprised to see me stand behind him.
Sure. Could you get some bowls ready? We're having tomato soup.
Oh,
do you want some grilled cheese with yours, or do you prefer some garlic bread?
grilled cheese! Yes!
Got it.
I brushed past him, feeling his tail linger by my ankle as I grabbed the bowls and spoonfuls from the bottom shelf. He started preparing the sides, the smell of toasted bread filling the kitchen and mingling with the soups. I took over preparing the tea. I finally ladled the soup from the pot into a larger bowl, just as Michael finished flipping the last piece. Oh, I want some of that right now. Gimme, 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 gimme! We settled in for a nice hot dinner. Regardless of how I felt about the tomato soup, Michael's turned out rich and creamy, with an amazing balance of sour and sweet.
I want to eat it!
Dipping in the bite-sized grilled cheese sandwiches made it taste like pure savory comfort. Crisp and gooey. Even if I've never had it as a kid, still made me feel nostalgic somehow. I don't even like tomato soup. There's still a feeling of stilted awkwardness, but the soup helped ease us both into a warmer, lighthearted conversation. I didn't realize how hungry I was until I refilled my bowl, Michael watching me with his chin propped in his hand. Hey, I'm gonna go use the restroom really quick. I'll be right back. So if any of you guys need to get a drink, get a snack, use the restroom, now is the time. You got like a minute. Be right back. Okay, I've returned. Okay. Everyone should be returning in like the next 5 seconds, so let me just take a quick little sip. I didn't realize how hungry I was until I refilled my bowl. Michael watching me with his chin propped in his hand. Welcome back, boy. Thank you, Robes! His own bowl sat empty. Apparently he'd already had his fill.
Is, tomato soup your favorite?
His question was innocent, though his eyes were observing me carefully as I shrugged. I think I'd love anything you cook. Oh, that's a very broad answer. He's still taking a second to process what I said.
Oh, well, thank you.
No, thank you. Usually I get takeout or microwave dinners. Nothing beats home-cooked food.
Oh. What's a microwave?
I snickered and tried to explain it as best I can.
A, metal box that heats up food? That sounds like... What's the word in those fantasy books? Magic. Am I using that word right?
I laughed lightly. Sometimes science is just like that. We talked about other kitchen appliances off the top of my head, slowly branching out to other human inventions. He seemed even more interested.
I never understood how,
Technology?
Technology worked.
I pulled out my phone and let him fiddle with it. Although the battery dead, it's not much I could show. He was clearly disappointed.
It's, about as useful as a brick.
For now. Otherwise, I'd have a whole network of information in my hands.
He's such a cutie patootie. Yeah.
His eyes lit up.
Like a library? Like you access it as long as the bat Eerie is alive?
And as long as I have an internet connection.
Right.
Did not let that man on the internet.
Right. Internet. I didn't know you could do that.
I just see people staring at them all the time. It seemed boring. And looked at my phone again. A look of wonder on his face.
Having a whole library in your hands? Everyone must be really smart then.
Well, not everyone uses it like a library. More like a messaging hub? Or a source of content consumption? His ears flickered as he stared at me with a blank smile.
Consumption?
Do not let that boy in AO3.
You can eat it?
Yeah, he has no clue what I'm talking about. How do I explain to him the very concept of Web 2.0? I cleared my throat, deciding that I simply won't. Maybe I can show you what I mean someday. His eyes brightened. Seemed to like that idea a lot.
You mean that? I can have some?
First website I am putting him on! Rubes, you agent of chaos, you!
Boss. Ruby Caramel played text-to-speech for 25 channel points.
Oh, wait a second. No. Cancel. Where is it? I've tried doing this multiple times. Mod actions. And... Alright. I think I fixed it. Cool. Done. Yeah. It's about time we start getting a little more modern around here. No offense. Imagine what you could do with a generator. His smile widened just a tad, though there's still a cluelessness to his face that was just a little endearing.
Jenny Raider?
I laughed and reached across to pat his hand, a gesture that made his smile wobble. Like I said, I'll show you someday. A loud thwack against the floorboards, followed by rhythmic thunding. Leaning over, I could see the tip of his tail was wagging back and forth, the tip of it slapping against the floor almost comically. Michael looked flustered as he laughed softly, pulling his hand back to rub his neck.
Sorry.
He looked like he had more to say, but exhaled heavily, gathering himself before tilting his chin towards my empty bowl.
Are you done?
I nodded as he stood and collected our dirty dishes, heading towards the sink to wash them. I followed close behind, carrying the mugs, and we made quick work of the dishes, heading to the living room to relax. Michael headed to his basket of knitting materials, his movements, routine. I wasn't quite sure what to do with myself. Now that the food was no longer a distraction, I felt uneasy again, glancing around the room and staring at the window. Michael was eyeing me as he grabbed the stool and dragged it to the center of the room.
Is there something outside?
His question sounded innocent, but had a sense of wariness to it. I shook my head quickly. Nothing. I was just... Something catches my eye from under the bed, glinting like a knife. However, tilting my head lower, I could see it was a tin container the size of a shoebox.
What's that?
Michael looked up. Under your bed. A panicked look come across his face.
What? That thing? That's my AO3 content. Just some, emergency supplies. Yeah, nothing too special.
I had an inkling he was being dishonest again, but I'd figure I'd leave it for another day.
No, for.
I see. Michael watched me for a moment or two before clearing his throat.
Hey, Firefly?
Huh?
I've been meaning to ask. Do you remember what you said? At the river?
The river? Oh. Where I tripped. I pursed my lips and thought, not really. Everything feels fuzzy to me. He seems disappointed.
Oh. Not even a little?
I shook my head. Why? Did I say something stupid?
Just some things. And it made me happy.
Oh, God, I think I did say something stupid. Before I could ask about it, he already gestured towards the bed.
Well, you should go get some sleep, Firefly. Want to wake up nice and early to find Samantha, right?
The idea of looking for my cat once more made me wilt. You really think we'll find her? Michael looked on edge, pocketing his hands.
Doesn't hurt to try.
But it does hurt to hope. His face twitched.
Well,
His ears flattened as he thought of something to say, clearly struggling. He finally opened his mouth to respond, slow and careful.
I'm here for you.
I mean, okay, taking this from the protagonist's perspective, this has been about 3 days. At least 3 days, maybe longer. Because I forgot how long the cat was gone before we did this trip. So, like, realistically, even assuming that Michael wasn't the one who did the cat in, even if the cat was still missing, the cat's probably still toast. Like, he's been gone for a hot minute, right? Like, cars still exist. Too late. Yeah, like, it's been far too long for him not to come back. Wait. I accidentally doubled back. Thank you, Michael. He nodded, a strange mixture of polite happiness and hidden anxiety playing across his face. He's probably not used to another person sticking around for this long, let alone someone going through a loss he could care less about. Maybe I've been enough of a burden to him.
Actually,
can you just send me home? His brows raised, his posture straightening in surprise.
Are you sure? But what about Samantha? Don't you want to see if we can find her?
I'm sure. The look of apprehension crossed his face.
But it's so soon. Samantha could be out there.
Michael, please. I can't think about her right now. I just want to go home. He fidgeted with the sleeves of his cardigan.
But
He looked like he had so much more to say, but whatever turmoil was going on in his head was quickly swept behind a reassuring smile.
Okay. Get some sleep, Firefly. You've been through a lot.
He went to collect his blankets again, already arranging them into a nest like the night before. The words left my mouth before I could think twice. I can trust you, right? A look of surprise crossed Michael's face.
Of course you can trust me.
He didn't say anything else, as if that one line should be enough to convince me. And honestly, it's a bit too late to start an interrogation. It's only going to end up with me feeling guilty for upsetting him. I got under the covers, facing the wall with my back towards him. I could hear him setting up his nest behind me, before finally quieting down to a satisfied hum. I closed my eyes. Oh God. Has Floor been doing a country accent this all stream? Yes! Yes, I have, Rocky. Welcome back. I have been doing a country accent this whole time. Because our character, the character we're talking to has a country accent. That is canon to him. It's not thick, but he does have a country accent. Yeah, and I did start with the old man accent.
Last thing I heard was the gentle crackling of the fireplace, accompanied by Michael's knitting needles clicking away in the dark.
Before I knew it, I could hear birds chirping outside the window. First thing I noticed was that the fire must have been out, considering I couldn't hear the familiar pop and snap with the room's ambience. Second thing I realized was the hand gently shaking my shoulder awake.
Wake up, sleepyhead.
I stirred, yawning as I sat up in bed. Michael beamed, hand still on my shoulder.
There you are. Had a good sleep?
I mumbled incoherently. His smile widened to a grin as I blinked myself out of my wootsy state. If I didn't know any better, he seemed to be enjoying waking me up in the morning, just to see my disgruntled expressions.
Breakfast is ready. Wash up and meet me in the kitchen, all right?
Give me a second. He took that as my assent, humming his response. Suddenly, his hand reached up to ruffle my hair, messing up my bedhead further. Hey! He merely laughed at my indignant squawk, before reminding me once more to get up, his steps already thudding towards the kitchen. Recovering after a moment, I stared at the wall and pondered my situation for a second as I made my way to the bathroom. This is the third day since I've left my house. I'm missing work, I'm missing my cat, I'm missing my sense of direction. I gotta get back to my life. Today. Quietly reminding myself of my goal, I padded to the bathroom, freshened up, and joined him in the kitchen. Michael was already seated, cutting into some pancakes. His smile was bright as I entered the kitchen, his tail flickering closer to my seat as I sat down. A similar stack of mouth-watering pancakes was placed across him, waiting for me to dig in. Although, I couldn't bring myself to muster up an appetite, with so many thoughts filling up my head. Alright, this is the most unrealistic part of this entire series. I am hungry in the mornings. This is me. I hunger. Hunger! Food! He seems to notice the look on my face, laughing nervously.
You look serious. Something on your mind, Firefly?
I picked up my fork, twiddling with it. I'm just worried about getting home. Michael faltered as he lifted a piece to his mouth.
You're still thinking about that?
He seemed annoyed, which was a first. Of course. I've been gone for 3 days, man. People think I've probably gone missing. His gaze lowered, almost grumbling.
Is that so bad?
What? Yeah, it's bad. Why do you sound like you don't even care?
Michael frowned, looking up to me now. Why do you sound like you're desperate to leave?
Every time we try to leave, the closer we become. So true. What?
It's all you ever think about. Are you not happy here? Is it not enough?
I sighed, rubbing my fingers over my eyes. Look, Michael, we've gone over this. I said it once and I'll say it again. You've done so much for me already. But I can't keep pretending everything's okay here. I want to go home. I need to go home. He sucked in a deep breath, grunting something indecipherable under his breath.
I just only wanted to.
Or not trying to remove the tension from this moment, but this sentence has the same word used twice. I just want to point that out. It's not a bad game. It's actually good writing. It's just a nitpick. It's a good game. You should play it. He seemed to be battling himself before he finally sighed.
I'm sorry. You're right.
You're right. Of course you're right. His tone seemed genuine, even if the hurt in his eyes was as clear as day.
I'll send you back today.
I narrowed my eyes. I mean it this time. I promise. He held his hand over his chest.
I swear on my heart.
Oh my fudging god. Oh my fudging god. I got... You know what? Trust him. I mean, how could I not trust him? He was my last hope. Okay? I paused for a moment before adding quickly, "Thank you." He nodded and went back to eating, watching me expectantly as he took a timid bite. It was a moment before he swallowed and spoke again. "Can you promise me something?" His voice was quiet and, for lack of a better word, vulnerable. "What is it?" "Capitalization." "But promise me?" His mouth hung open for a second or two before he laughed. Promise me you weren't lying when you said you liked my cooking." I snorted. You kidding? Do I look like the kind of person to lie? I'm offended, Michael. He laughed again, light and airy. But if I dared to look closer, I could tell it was fake. He probably didn't want to make our last moments tense and awkward. The least I could do was meet him halfway. Before long, we found ourselves walking down another path from Michael's. The route was different today, probably because he didn't have any detours in mind. Oh! Hydrate! I'm almost out. And stretch! Hi, Crystal! And posture check. Thank you so much. Gotta get comfy here. We walked in silence for a while. The only thing accompanying us were the sounds of nature and our footsteps. I couldn't tell what Michael was thinking. I knew he wasn't the talkative type unless spoken to, but right now he seemed eerily quiet. His back was tense, eyes looking nowhere but forward. My voice was itching to say something, anything. But it felt like both of us just had some thoughts to digest, despite it being easier just to say it out loud. Still, silence was getting unbearable. Hey, we both halted at our steps at the sound of rustling, Michael's ear perking in a direction. What was that? His hands were already racing to hold his crossbow, deftly cocking it with an experienced pull of the string until a solid click was heard.
Stay quiet. Stay close.
I swallowed, my heart picking up speed. He started stalking low towards the source of the noise, his boots barely making a sound compared to my clumsy footsteps. The rustling continued, sounding like a scuffle was occurring between the bushes. Closer. Closer. Until my ears picked up an unfamiliar high-pitched sound. It sounded like a tiny infant screaming. As morbid as that was, Michael actually relaxed as he recognized it. His steps hastened silently towards the source, crossbow lowering, until we came across what exactly it was that caused the disturbance. A rabbit. Aww. It's a small, delicate foot snagging an old, rusted trap. Its little body trembled as it breathed fast and shallow, no doubt scared out of its mind. Michael regarded it empathetically before unloading his crossbow, disturbed that the caught rabbit, but at the same time relieved at the absence of threat. Just a rabbit. Sweeping his crossbow behind his back and out of sight, he looked at it for another moment before looking it up towards me. Let's keep going then. My mouth dropped in shock. And leave that poor food behind? Bro! Okay, I don't know if you guys are onto this, but I eat meat. This trap was laid to catch animals. This is food. Bruh, kill that thing. I'm hungry. I want rabbit for dinner. Let's go. I'm hungry. The boy is hungry. I need food. Feed me. He raised a brow, confused at the bewilderment. Yes, but it's going to... Yes! Let it die! Let it die of horrible death! I hunger! His face twisted. Look, we have a crossbow. We can take it out of its pain immediately and very swiftly. That's generally what happens to prey animals. Yes. Rabbits are actual foods in many places. Kill it. Yeah. Shoot it between the eyes. Yeah, let's go, Crystal. He was so nonchalant about it, I had to keep my emotions in check. Well, we can't do that. Look at it. Yes. The trap is from a hunter. He's going to get eaten either way. Let's take the food. His expression was understanding, a little annoyed. I am. Someone left a trap. Rabbit gets caught in it. That's how it works. Correct. Good on you, Michael. What do you want me to do? Set it free? Obviously. Boy, that rabbit has a broken foot. If I let it loose, he's just going to be scared when he dies. I can't. If somebody's nearby, they'll be suspicious how their catch got free. So kill it. Let them see the blood. Let them know that something got to it first. Does that matter? Animals escape traps all the time. Poor thing's suffering. Then let's end its suffering near here and now. Poor coon, I know you're smarter than this. If it doesn't die today, it'll die tomorrow. Michael's speaking facts. It's a trap to a fox, to a hunter. Probably won't even survive long with his foot injured if we set it free. Michael! Oh, my man! Nothing but mad respect. You know what it's like to live out in the country. You're prologuing the inevitable. Can't you put out... Yes! Food! He hesitated. Do you really want me to do that? No. But even that... I mean, we don't know if anyone's coming back for it. Oh, God. This is me. But even then, we don't even know if anyone's coming back for it. The thing looks so old. He sighed impatiently, looking stubborn in his decision. That's the point. That's the point of a trap. It's to keep things right where they are till you come back. The way you just said it rubbed me the wrong way. Bro's being realistic. Yo, no. If you live out in the country, you know this is how it goes. Like, bro, I'm not pampered enough to say that, like, that hunting is not a viable, reasonable lifestyle. I don't know. That's just me. That might be a hot take. I don't know. But, like, I like meat, and meat means killing things, and killing things means things gotta die. In a way, his logic made sense, but still, I could hardly believe how needlessly callous he is being. For someone so sweet in his hands, he was so indifferent about the poor rabbit shaking at her feet. Because he compartmentalizes his thoughts. This is a reasonable situation. His hens are his pets. This is food in the wild. These are two separate categories. Pets are not food. If you can find a rabbit as a pet, it makes sense not to eat it. You know? You need to compartmentalize. I looked down at it once more, my heart breaking as it started to squeak. Michael. I guess you're right. Yes, I'm on Michael's side. Okay, follow me. Michael was probably the one who placed the trap, since he said he did go hunting. That is true. He does say he goes hunting, and he did say that he ate wildlife. For him, this was last night's stew. Let's be real. Who was I to say what was right and wrong? Maybe he had a point. Yes, he did. Because the only reason we think otherwise is because technology has advanced so far. Without technology, this is just how life works. For those animals in the wild, this is how life works today. It was just one small rabbit in the grand scheme of things. We should just let it be. Michael led us back to where we came, the struggling, squeaking noises of the rabbit, eventually drowned out by the sounds of the forest around us. Left alone to its fate. Low-key, I still think we should have killed it. I mean, I would have killed it and stole it. But at least kill it. Because you're right. Make it quick. Because the worst case scenario, in my opinion, is he gets trapped there and then gets eaten by, like, a malicious animal, like a cat, who will just play with it until it's gone. You know what I mean? Like, that's worse than getting found by a hunter. Because the hunter's going to make it quick. Because we don't want fights. Guilt spread through my chest like an icky mold, but I quickly stifled it. It's just nature. Yes! Let it be. Yes! Let it be. Yes. Michael took the lead, his footing sure and confident. He must have noticed my unsteady gait beside him, as he subtly veered towards a clear path I could easily follow. I didn't verbalize it, but I was definitely grateful for that. As much as the twigs was growing on me, getting my feet caught in roots and twigs every few steps was getting tiring after a while. Get some nicer boots. Our steps fell into rhythm next to each other. I peeked at Michael every once in a while, trying to gauge his mood after what happened. Even after spending so much time with him, it was so difficult to read. Even if it was him or if it was another hunter, Michael is still correct, though. Yes. It can also die of blood loss if it is not found. Correct. I can't let go of how pretty the art is. Yeah, the art style is very good in this game. Like I've consistently been impressed. It's stylized in a way that I think is very aesthetically pleasing. How can someone both wear their heart on their sleeve yet keep it stitched tight, never letting anyone come too close? I know he had secrets he wanted to keep close to his chest, but I wished he'd just open up to me a little. The silence that hung over the air was making my skin prickle. Hey, what's your favorite animal? I got so caught up in my thoughts that I didn't even realize I blurted the first thing that came to my mind. Michael regarded me curiously, ear flickering. My favorite animal? Pursed his lips in thought before his ears perked. Jellyfish. I did a double take. It was one thing for having to answer so readily, but the choice was something else. A jelly? Why jellyfish? I thought it'd be, I don't know, a bird or something. He shrugged. They're pretty to look at least from the pictures I've seen. Plus, I kind of relate to them. Looks like watercolors. Ah, my neck! Ah! Alright, you take care, Clownish. And that's how Clownish committed Sudoku. She moved her neck a bit too fast, and now she's dying. Or he's dying.
My bad, Clownish.
Also, I know that the conversation was a metaphor for the conversation we're currently in. Yes, it is. But I've always hated that as a discussion for empathy. I agree, Ruby. Context matters. If I did this just for the sake of just chilling, yes, it's wrong. If I did this in the middle of the street in the city, it's wrong. But if you're out in the wilderness, it's hunting, you know, it's a different context. Context matters. He said that without zero hesitation. How do you relate to jellyfish? His expression faltered, as if deciding on the right way he could explain his answer.
Let's just say I have something in common.
Roadkill, on the other hand. Wait. You have something in common with a jellyfish.
Well, one jellyfish.
In what way? That they're pretty to look at?
Wink, wink.
A strangled noise slipped past his throat.
No! You wouldn't get it. Try me. No.
I groaned like a dying whale in exasperation. Shoulder slumped like I had a back problem. Oh, for the record, I'm leaving. I wasn't making a joke. Oh, okay. Hunting always seems so interesting to me. I never go, though. Yeah, some of my friends go hunting. I myself don't go hunting, but I really like deer meat.
Deer meat is yummy.
I groan like a dying whale. Oh, wait. He's not going to elaborate anymore, is he? He probably spotted the vein growing on my forehead as he snickered. Fun fact, in my state, you need to get a license to get roadkill. And I plan to get it once I'm old enough. Oh, man.
Relax, Firefly.
You're gonna faint on your spot if you think any harder.
Well, yeah, it'd be your fault.
His smile dropped for a second before his cheeky grin returned.
Tush.
Touch? Touch what?
You know, touch.
I stared at him, his happy grin shifting into a confused frown.
You know, touch, when it's like saying, you're right.
You mean touche? He smiled innocently.
Yeah!
This man will be the death of me. He laughed at my screwed up grimace, waving a hand hastily.
Well, what about you? What's your favorite animal?
Ah! That's fun. That's fun. Which... I actually do prefer chickens over cats. Maybe? Do I? But putting it your chickens is something else. Pick it. He looked taken aback, clearly not expecting that answer.
Really?
Yeah! Who wouldn't fall in love with those little darlings? He seemed pleased with that answer, his already wide smile of softening further.
You're right. Who wouldn't fall in love with a little darling?
We continued idle chatter after that. I didn't even know how much time has passed as the trees slowly thinned out, the sounds of nature muffling as the canopy started to grow scarce. Suddenly, I heard this soft yet familiar rumble of a car in the distance. Almost didn't pick it up on it, fully immersed in whatever Michael was rambling on about. Something about the cycle life of a topsy-turvy Dorney, or whatever he called it. Oh! Have we really walked that far already? I left Michael's side and rushed forward. He made a sound of surprise, but followed suit. I neared the edge of the forest just as another car drove past. I recognized my street instantly. As he looks at us. Breaking to the light jog, I almost missed Michael calling for my name as I run down the road. There! My house was visible from where I stood on the street. I was breathing heavily by the time Michael approached my side, the man barely making a sound as I took it in the sight. Oh man, I miss this. I turned to thank Michael, only to startle when a bundled stranger took his place.
Sorry. people about.
I couldn't see anyone around, but I guess he was right to be safe. I guess this is his version of a disguise. This is cute. I really like this getup. This is cute. Also, the way he wears his hair is very androgynous. If I were to look past him on the street, I wouldn't think twice. I wouldn't think I would bother to look twice. I mean, I want to say thank you to your face, but I'll settle for this, I guess. No, invite him in. It's the least you can do. He invited you to his house. You should invite him to your house, and then pray nightmares don't happen. His chuckle was muffled underneath his scarf. He pulled it down so he could speak properly.
Ah, look at the little tongue.
Did I scare you? I got distracted. Michael's eyes squinted from where I could see them.
And I wonder how you don't get lost every 20 steps. Hey!
He laughed at my offended tone.
You better not go back in there, got it? I'm not always going to be around to find you.
Who says I need you to find me? Almost instantly, his eyes hardened under his sunglasses.
I'm serious. Don't go wandering in these woods again. Or I might just have to start taking drastic measures just to make sure you stay put right where you are.
I sputtered indignantly. I'll wander where I please.
Sure.
I looked over my shoulder towards my house.
So, that's where you live, huh?
Protect Michael sitting under tree.
K-I-S-S-I-N-G.
Smug face. Damn it, Crystal.
Looks, cozy.
I wasn't sure if he was being genuine considering he lived in the wooden back ends of the middle of nowhere. Suddenly, I perked up with a thought. You want to come by? His eyes darted towards me, shock evident in his face. Me? It's your home? I nodded. Froze completely. For a second, I thought he stopped breathing. I'd love to... Sudden barking and a shout startled us both, my body jerking forward as his arm yanked me close. I heard a soft rustle as his glasses fell to the grass from the sudden motion, his hastily worn beanie shaken off his head. Looking up, it was just my neighbor calling out to their dog. Oh, looks like Vita's back from college. I paused, feeling his grip tighten. I looked down at his hand on my shoulder before glancing up at him. Michael? He snapped back to the present, his hand releasing me quickly. Sorry. He looked back towards my neighbor and their dog for another moment before turning back to me.
I don't think it's a good idea for me to go with you. I don't want to be seen.
I deflated just a little. But you have your disguise, don't you? He shook his head insistently.
I can't risk it. It's much better this way.
He spoke with a finality starting to become familiar. If he wasn't willing, fine. At least I was. Before he could pick up his signature, I gently grabbed his wrist. Then, can I come visit you instead?
What?
I huffed impatiently.
If you won't come to mine, then I'll go to yours.
Oh shit. I got the accents backwards. Once again, he was rendered speechless.
Why would you ever want to see me again?
At this point, I was starting to look and sound peeved. All his good traits, the constant need to build his wall higher around me, was starting to get annoying. I folded my arms, looking stern. His eyes widened, as if in preparation, ears flattening like a cat in the middle of a scolding. Ugh, Michael. Can you just accept the fact that I enjoy your company and wouldn't mind more?
I'm sorry. Nobody's ever. But you wanted to go home so badly.
Oh, God, this man's hopeless. Yes, of course I do. That doesn't mean I'm going to forget about you completely. Besides, promised I'd show you what phones can do, didn't I? Dismissing the fact there's probably not much I can show when there's no data in the woods. I'm sure he'll be enthralled by whatever dinky mobile game I had installed at the time. Point is, I just wanted to see him again.
So, that means I get to see you again?
I picked up the eager tone in his voice, realizing he wished for the same sentiment. Yeah, I want to. His voice warbled for a second. Firefly. He cleared his throat, laughing to himself. Forcoon. You can't imagine how much that means to me. A lot. It means a lot. More than you know. I nodded, a giddy smile creeping onto my own face. Hey, how's the next weekend? He tilted his head. That's, 7 sundowns from now? 5. His smile widened, his eyes squinting in absolute delight. Okay, I'll meet you here then. I smiled at him, figuring this was his goodbye. Ah, come on! Give him a hug! I didn't think twice. Arms spread around and wrapped around him before he could react. Michael froze from head to toe, inhaling sharply as his shoulders tensed. For a second, I thought I triggered a fight or flight or freeze response. It took a few seconds before he shifted to reciprocate, lightly placing his hands on the small of my back in a loose hold, fingertips displayed awkwardly along my spine. He seemed to gain confidence as he wrapped his arms around me properly, a shaky sigh leaving his body as he relaxed. The faint rhythmic rumble emitted from his chest, my eyes widening at the strange feeling. Was he purring? I knew I heard that sound before, but he was definitely purring. I didn't have time to dwell on it for long. His grip was getting tighter. Tighter. Tighter! I was about to spurt out in gentle protest when another car passing made him jump and release me. I had to step away to catch my breath after the squeeze. His arms dropped to his sides with a blank stare in my direction. Oh! Out of the corner of my eye, I could see his hands clenching tightly, as if holding himself back. I looked up at him, expecting him to say something first. Instead, he just stared at me like I grew a third eye. I quickly cleared my throat, cheeks starting to burn. Anyways, I gave him one last punch to the shoulder. It felt like punching a sack of grains. I'll see you next weekend. Ignoring the heat on my face, I looked both ways before jogging across the street. My neighbor in the yard looked up as I approached, their eyes lighting up in recognition. Forcoon! Their hands fidgeted with a frisbee in their... Oh. Look, writers, I love you, but you used the same word 3 times in this sentence. Their hands fidgeted with a frisbee in their hand as they approached, their ever-loyal Laika following close behind. Look at the doggo! The doggo has heterochromia. Also, animation? What? I was wondering where you've been. I dropped by to give you some cake over the weekend, but you weren't home. You didn't answer your phone, and your packages were piling at the door, and... Okay, to be honest, I've only been gone for 3 days, bro. Vita, you overreacting. I mean, the phone thing I get, but like, I've only been gone for 3 days, bruh. Unless you were actively expecting me, like, you overreacting, Vita. I held up my hands in a placating gesture. Vita, I'm fine. Oh, puppy. At our feet, Laika was dutifully pawing at her elbow for them to calm down. Your mouth stopped midway through another sentence, blinking rapidly. Sorry. They reached down to pat Laika's head, significantly calmer as they asked me again. Vita, I could have been on vacation, bro. Nah. This dog has homophobia in its eyes. Nah, it's heterophobia. Where were you? Where have you been? I was, visiting a friend. For a digital detox. Off the grid and all that. They blinked slowly, nodding. Oh, that sounds exciting. Yo, if I actually did that, This is an improper response, Vita. Yo, work on your social skills. By the tone of the voice, I didn't mean that at all. What about Samantha? Did you manage to find her? My mood instantly dropped. No. It's why I went away in the first place, you could say. It took a few seconds for Vita to understand what I meant. I'm sorry. It's fine. They straightened, a flash of empathy on their face before they smiled.
Well, Laika and I are around for a semester break if you need anything. We should do a movie night. Maybe that'll lift your spirits. I found this really good one you'd like, and I did some research on it, and it's like right up your alley. Laika and I could take a quick drive to the store, so just let us know when you're up for it. I could get your favorite snacks and stuff.
Laika gave a happy bark at the familiar word. A fond smile quirked at my lips. Thank you, Vita. I'll bring them the orange soda. Their expression lit up happily.
Take care.
I bid them both goodbye and walked out of my driveway. Once I got to my door, I had the urge to turn around one last time. I am surprised to see Michael still standing by the forest edge, shadowed by the trees. Our eyes made contact, his own fierce, piercing yellow shining against the shade. I gave him a wave. It took a moment, but he waved back. Smiling to myself, I unlocked the front door and let myself inside. It was surreal, standing in my doorway again. I just felt like Alice, who just woke up at the end of the book. Feeling like I dreamed of Wonderland. I tossed my keys and backpacked to the hall carelessly before plugging my phone into the charger. I dreaded playing catch-up with the people who might have tried to reach me during my absence. Work, family, friends. So cute. I groaned aloud, flopping to the living room couch. Well. At least I had this weekend to look forward to. That's all from day 3 of Mushroom Oasis demo. More updates coming in the future. Tell me what you think of the game. Any support and feedback is highly appreciated. Thank you for playing.
The end.
Okay. You got the good ending? What? Really? Alright, now I'm really curious about the bad endings. What the heck? I naturally fell into the... There's only one good ending? There's 3 other bad endings! Let's go! I'm 99% sure the first one were... So, somehow... For some way survived first try? Clowners, can I ask you a question? Is one of the bad endings saying not agreeing to him and the forest with the rabbit? Because I know that like saying no or insisting you need to go at the very beginning, I'm pretty sure that's the death. I'm pretty sure saying that not eating the food, I think that was a death. I think that when he was trying to knock me out in the flower field, I think that might have been a death. And one of the bad endings when I first played, you stabbed Michael with a kitchen knife. Oh, okay. I figured that I was dodging bad endings. But I didn't think I got the good ending. Okay, cool. Good to have empathy. Overall, this game is fantastic. Not trying to spout, but just you know, give a little, spout a little fire. But like compared to like a game like Uva or Zenless Zone, or like the writing here is actually quite good. Yes, there were 3 mistakes I caught. In a 4-hour game? My god, of non-stop reading? No, this game is thoroughly combed over. very beautifully well done. The character who you play with is very interesting. He does ride the line between friend and foe just enough. Will you come back when Chapter 4 comes out? I hope so. Please keep me updated, Clownish. I'd be interested in that. Overall, I gotta give this game, like, a 9 out of 10. Like, I can't really think of any dramatic things to improve it. My only complaint is that... this is a petty complaint, mind you. The dog at the end upset me slightly. Not because of the fact it took so long to get there, but rather, that animation is proof that earlier in the visual novel, we could have had animations. Like, the dog's tail wagging felt jarring. And that was like, I'm like, oh, wasted potential. But at the same token, I'm pretty sure, I'm also open-minded to think that, like, maybe this is him experimenting because he's getting more experience as being a game dev. No, let me explain. It's like a one-man... Day 3 came out just recently. Oh, okay. So Day 1 was for a competition. Okay. So only Day 2 and 3 really had Day 1 didn't have this much effort put in. Oh, no, I could definitely feel that. I noticed that during Day 2, that's when they started using the zooms to a lot of effect. Which I liked. I liked the fact that he used the zooms for added effect. Day 2 3 have so much more. Yes. The game, you can tell the game progressively got better with each installment. I do think that Day 3 is more interesting than Day 2, which is more interesting than Day 1. Day 2 and 1 are pretty close to each other. Mostly because Day 1 still has the novelty factor, but Day 2 is better executed. But I will say, overall, this is a fantastic game. Strong recommend. I can't think of many ways to make it better. It is a very interesting story. Day 2 is when the river happened, right? So Day 1 was like pretty rushed. Day 2 was the river. Yeah, just the font. I agree. The font needs to be boldened or something. Because it took me a while to get used to it. I got used to it, but when I first started, I literally had to move my cursor over the words to read it without stumbling. Like, I literally had to do this the entire time, because otherwise I would lose my place. But no, this game is excellent. I got no complaints, which is... I am a very harsh critic, and for me to say no complaints is high praise. High praise, I say. I recommend this game. Thank you for recommending it to me, Clownish. Thank you for watching, everyone. Our next stream will be in 8 hours. I believe we're playing Identity 5. So we got that to look forward to. Yeah, I want to review this game more, but like, how do you comment on perfection? Like, I like the villain characters interesting. They keep him. The protag got smarter. I felt like as the story progressed. Day 1 he was pretty stupid. Day 1 he was really stupid. But Day 2 and 3, nah, he got smarter. Cool. Apparently we've got a raid going on. Or we're going to do a raid. So Riku VT. All right, cool. Let me actually get that started then, okay? But overall, I will say thank you. I love this game. I am very passionate about it. I see why you're passionate about it. Fuck. Good game. Mushroom Oasis. Play it. Plus the hypnosis. Yes, the hypnosis is fun. The gaslighting is fun. I personally am really into that kind of stuff. So like, I love it. The hypnosis part is used a lot more in the bad endings. Oh, really? Then one of these days we should try and go for all the bad endings. But either way, for this stream, You can send a video of the bad endings if you want. Oh yeah, yeah, dude. Put it in either DM or put it in server, either or. Either way, I think that's it for today. We're going to go hop on Riku VTuber for our raid. But for the rest of you, thank you for watching.
Let's do this.
Okay. How do you raid again?
It's not something I do every day.
Stream manager. Click raid. Raid channel. And you said search and filter. Thank you for the stream.
Thank you, Rubes. Thank you, Crystal. Thank you, Rocky. Thank you, Clowny.
It was Riku V2. _ VT. Currently playing Subnautica, correct? Riku VT. Is that spelled correctly? That does appear to be spelled correctly. Yep, and they're playing right now. I'll catch you guys next time. Bye-bye!
Oh, burnt flavoring. Yum. Oh shit, he's dying. He's fucking dying. Okay, okay, get in there. Okay, quick.